step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
It is your feel-good breakfast show. Put it there.
There we go.
Put it there.
Put it there.
Put it there. Welcome to it. It's the middle of the week. It's downhill till the weekend, and it's going to be a crazy week. So much planned, so much crammed into today.
Crazy half week going on. I'm just making sure that you give the correct information to our viewers, Graham. It's going to be halfway through the week, all right? It's sailing downhill. We are hump day. Listen, thank you very much for joining us. It's great to hang out with you. Stick around right there. Make yourself a cup of coffee. We got a nice little breakfast basket planned for you going into your Wednesday. Of course, music, man. You're going to look forward to this guy. His voice is just phenomenal.
It's like diesel and gravel and testosterone.
We're talking about Rian Smith, of course. He stepped onto the music scene as the ringleader and frontman for the band Crimson House, who became one of South Africa's best acts. But he's here this morning with a bit of a solo vibe, and we just love his music, man. He's phenomenal, and he's also got some big things in the pipeline.
Oh, exciting things. And then this morning we're going to introduce you to author Vanessa Raffaeli, who's brought out her debut novel. It's called A+1, and it looks at the darker side of, I'm going to call it celeb life. And in a tweet, she even says someone dies. We'll unpack this novel. It's called +1.
Suddenly +1s around the country are like, nah, it's fine. I'll wait till next year. Then, of course, I think any fathers out there have marveled at that maternal instinct kicking in, how easy it is for the mother, how natural it is, and how unnatural it is for the dads. It does take us a while to catch up, but it is, I think, probably one of the strongest forces in nature, that maternal instinct, and we're going to explore a bit of that magic today.
I love that. I love that natural instinct from women. When my boys were babies, you know, they were crying. It's like, what does your instinct say? Why is he crying? You should know.
Must be poo. There must be poo somewhere.
Lots of learning to look forward to there, but it's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month, all of October. So Reg Netling is going to be joining us in studio to talk about the Pink Polo, which is a big social event that celebrates and highlights breast cancer. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, exactly. One of the biggest events as well on the South African calendar, and I'm sure you're going to be there, right?
I'm going to be there.
Hey, dressed in pink.
And I better see you guys there all dressed up in pink. Everybody.
Yes.
Will you style me out, man?
I'll help you.
I love it. So it is going to be a beautiful show today. So we might as well kick it off with a gorgeous news reader this morning. Ian's got those news details.
Thank you so much, G. Welcome back. We missed you, and good morning to you at home. In the national news this morning, long queues were experienced at fuel pumps last night ahead of a record high fuel price increase. From midnight last night, motorists are paying almost 17 Rand a litre for both grades of petrol and around 15 Rand 65 cents a litre for diesel. The sharp rise will especially have a negative impact on the agricultural sector. Diesel is now the second most expensive input cost for grain farmers after fertilizer. In a country where maize is a staple food, the rise in the cost of diesel will also have a negative impact or effect on poor communities. The founder of the humanitarian organization Gift of the Givers, Dr. Imtiaz Suleiman, yesterday said rescue teams with highly specialized equipment, accompanied by a number of medical personnel and essential supplies, could be leaving for Indonesia this morning. He said depending on the challenges presented by the 7.5 earthquake and resultant tsunami that struck last Friday, more rescue teams will be dispatched. The Gift of the Givers has responded to a call for international assistance from Indonesian President Joko Widodo. The death toll presently stands at 1,234. Moving further abroad, US First Lady Melania Trump landed in the Ghanaian capital, Accra, yesterday morning on her maiden solo trip to Africa. Trump left the sanctuary of the East Wing of the White House, making her visit as much about mending fences as carving her own diplomatic path. On her 4-country week-long tour of Africa, Trump is aiming to cast a more positive light on her embattled husband's administration and its America First agenda. The 48-year-old is promoting her Be Best initiative, her official agenda unveiled in May and designed to improve children's well-being. And then finally, 3 scientists yesterday won the Nobel Physics Prize for inventing optical lasers that have paved the way for advanced precision instruments used in corrective eye surgery and in the industry, the jury said. 96-year-old Arthur Ashkin of the United States won half of the R1 million prize, while Gerard Moreau of France and Donna Strickland of Canada shared the other half. Strickland is the only third woman to win the physics prize. Before her, only Marie Curie and Maria Goeppert-Mayer had won the physics prize in 1903 and in 1963, respectively. Well, that was your 6 o'clock news update. Time for a look at what's happening in the very exciting world of sport with the one, the only, Graham Richards.
Let's kick it off locally with football. Bidvest Wits have moved 2 points clear at the top of the Absa Premiership table last night. That came after a Cape Town City FC win by 2-0. Both goals coming in the first half. Simon Murray scored a brace successful penalty, put Wits ahead in the 8th minute before a stoppage time goal made it 2-0 to seal the deal. Elsewhere, SuperSport and Polokwane City drew 1-1 while Kaizer Chiefs, their match against Highlands Park, finished goalless. Staying with football on a far grander scale, Man City got their Champions League campaign back up and running last night thanks to a 2-1 win over Hoffenheim in Germany. City looked on course for a second straight defeat as they conceded a goal in the first minute, but the English champions secured the comeback win thanks to a goal from Sergio Aguero and another from David Silva. In other results, Man United couldn't find a way past Valencia. Real Madrid lost 1-0 to CSKA Moscow, while Paulo Dybala was on fire, a hat-trick, helping Juventus beat Young Boys 3-0. And then in cricket, the Proteas resumed their ODI battle with Zimbabwe today as the two nations face off in Bloemfontein. A victory in the City of Roses will ensure South Africa claim the 3-match series victory with 1 game to play. It was after they won the first ODI by 5 wickets in Kimberley this past Sunday. Today's match at the Mangwang Oval in Bloem gets underway at 1 o'clock. We'll touch on those headlines again in a half hour.
Right, let's get into your weather and your temperatures for the very first time on your Wednesday morning. Before we do so, we've asked to see some of your pictures showing us what it looks like in your parts of the world. Thank you very much for taking some of those pictures. We have a beautiful one this morning from Domiso Smith that sent in a sunrise picture from Pumula and Johannesburg. Look at that. Stunning, stunning morning there. Thank you very much, Domiso. You can expect some chilly conditions this morning, actually, with a couple of showers expected as well, reaching a maximum of around 15 degrees. Appreciate your picture. Thank you very much for sharing, but continue taking those pictures. And once you have done so, then upload it onto our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page, and we'll gladly share it with the nation right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. With regards to your temperatures going into your Wednesday, Polokwane starting off on 10 minimum, reaching a high of 28 degrees. Mbombela 10, 20. Pretoria 6 minimum this morning, nice and chilly, but warming up to 29 degrees. You can also expect some scattered showers. Johannesburg 426, Maikeng 828, Klerksdorp 624, Kimberley 521, Bloemfontein on 1 minimum, reaching a high of 19. Richards Bay 14 and 19 with some thunder showers expected. Rain forecast for Pietermaritzburg 5 and a high of 13 degrees. Durban 14, 18. Mthatha 5 minimum with a maximum 14 degrees. East London 11, 17. Cradock 3, 15. Port Elizabeth 11 with a maximum 19 degrees. George 8, 16 and some rain expected as well. Sutherland 1 minimum, staying cool with a maximum 15. Cape Town 10-20, Worcester 5-21, Springbok 12-25, and Uppington starting off on 9 minimum, reaching a nice and warm maximum of 26 degrees. That's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures. For the 6 o'clock bulletin, we'll bring you another update in half an hour's time along with your traffic.
Well, we know him as the front man from Crimson House, but how well do we really know him? We're going to get to know our performer, Rian Smith, a little bit better after the game with a game of rapid-fire questions. You learn the most interesting things on the spot.
You really do. I want to know if that voice, that intense voice, translates to the way he speaks normally, but he is sounding phenomenal from the sound check this morning. Then, of course, it's Parenting Matters. We're going to give you some advice. We're going to delve into the magic that is that maternal instinct. Most dads out there are just minds blown when you see how natural it is for a mom. We're going to find out exactly why after the break.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show on a Wednesday. It's hump day, but we all know that we live in a world that's constantly changing, and every day we're seeing that life seems to be getting faster by the day. So as we welcome today, the 3rd of October, we take a look at what happened exactly on this day in history.
Exactly. Well, welcome to WERD. Well, that was in 1949 when Word, the very first black-owned radio station in the United States, opened in Atlanta.
Very interesting. And we're also dialing it back to 1991 when South African writer and political activist Nadine Gordimer was announced as the winner of the Nobel Prize in Literature.
Exactly. And then in 1997, the world speed record is broken by Japan's magnetically levitated train at 280.3 miles per hour.
Wow. That is fast.
Wow, that is lank fast. Well, the beauty of history and the fact that we can all reflect on it today. Well, that's our bite size of dose of history for the day. Go out there, seize the day, and make it one for the books.
Right, so we're talking some parenting right now. Graham is in a very deep discussion.
The magic of maternal, I know it's
maternal
not
instincts, man. That is what we're talking about this morning. We have our parent coach, Laura Markovich, joining us as well. And this is an interesting topic. Laura, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Maternal instinct. I mean, having maternal instinct, is this... What does it mean? Is it a real thing?
Is it science? Is it a real thing?
Well, I think it's an important thing to be talking about because I think traditionally and commonly, this maternal instinct concept has been used in two ways. So one is it's kind of been used to describe women's instinctual drive to have a baby. And then also it's been used as women's instinctual knowledge that they know how to look after that baby and how to love, nurture, protect, and bond with that child. Yeah. And I think in reality we know that's actually not the case for everyone. Not every woman chooses or wants to have a child, and not every woman experiences motherhood in the same way as the next mother. So there are so many variables that impact how we come to motherhood. So of course those hormones can kick in. How we were parented has a major impact. The birth of the child, our own personality, the temperament of our baby. So all those things can impact how we actually bond. So I sometimes think this idea of maternal instincts can be used in a kind of dangerous way because for some women, yes, something kicks in, but for many, many women, that this kind of elusive thing of a maternal instinct doesn't kick in.
Still waiting. No, you got to also just give us a little bit of a break here because as dads watching this process unfold, it's the most amazing thing to see how a lot of it does come so naturally. And we know maybe it's happening on two levels, the psychological, where what's happening in the now, and then all of your baggage. And as a parent, man or woman, it's amazing how you have to deal with all of that sort of stuff and how much of that does bear on that situation. But there is clearly something kicking in. Is it a roadmap that you can follow? Are there certain things that you know, okay, as a mother, this should be happening as a guide, as opposed to putting pressure on you with expectation, okay, this must be kicking in now, what's wrong with me?
Well, I think the two things that I really want to pick up from what you're talking about is, first of all, father's experience of this maternal instinct concept. And I think similarly to what I was saying earlier about it being used in a bit of a dangerous sense, I think for fathers, it has been used to perpetuate the stereotype of the all-knowing, all-loving, all-maternal mother, which in reality isn't always the case. Absolutely. And sometimes that can alienate dads and actually push them aside because it's like, well, I don't know what to do, so I'm not going to get involved. So that concept can be used with excluding fathers as well, and it is so important, as you know, as a dad, to kick in and to bond and to learn to get to know your child so that you too can develop the knowledge of how to be taking care of them and picking up on their cues. I love it. And I think, the question about moms and knowing what to do is there are massive expectations on what's meant to happen. I might have been someone who expected I was going to bond with my child. I've always wanted a child, and suddenly I get this child, and it doesn't happen. I might be a person who actually never bonded with kids and thought I wasn't going to have a child, and it kicks in. So for parents to know, it can be so different for all of us in how we come to experience.
And I think that's why it's so important for you and your partner to be in sync with each other, and for the husband to support the wife with baby. not putting that unnecessary expectation on her, you know, and hopefully there's something like paternal instincts as well. We'll unpack that a little bit later.
I feel like I've been really emotional for like the last year and a half.
Baby.
I don't know, maybe I was always just a bit of a softie.
Exactly, case in point.
Stick around, we'll be back with Laura in just a bit.
Well, time for us to play a little bit of a game with you, and if your entertainment knowledge is on point, well, this game is for you. Now, it's called our emoji charades game, and what we do is we really test your skills. We're asking you, is it a movie, a TV show, or a song? How many words are in the title? We give you a couple of emojis to help you out with that, but we also give you a few clues to help you out.
Exactly. So let's take a look at our board here. These are our emojis. So we know that it's a song. There are 6 words in the title. There's a sleepy person, there's a clock, and there's also a calendar. So what could it mean? Here are some clues for you. Now, this is an electronic dance song released earlier this year by a British electronic band. It was nominated for the Teen Choice Award for Best EDM Song, and then finally it features American singer Demi Lovato on the vocals.
Well, if you know which song it is, why don't you head on over to Facebook or Twitter by using that hashtag Expresso Show. Let us know, and why don't you try out our emoji charades game? We need to know what you think is the answer.
Exactly. Well, throughout August and September, the 2nd annual National Student Entrepreneurship Week, hashtag SUE 2018 for short, was successfully executed throughout various public universities. Now, SUE or SEW is created to inspire and equip students who have aspirations of going into the business world by serving opportunities for each student to learn a little more about the world of entrepreneurship and get advice from some of the most successful entrepreneurs in South Africa.
Now, following the success of SUE 2018, the show they've hit the road in partnership with the Entrepreneurship Development in Higher Education program and the Department of Higher Education and Training to provide students with a free one-day event featuring insightful speeches from a number of guest celebrity speakers on the topic of entrepreneurship as a career.
Exactly. Now, the tour has completed successfully, and of course, there are events that were happening at the Vaal University of Technology, Northwest University, the University of Free State, Walter Sisulu University, the University of Fort Hare, and at Rhodes University as we speak.
Now, students have been given immensely positive feedback, saying it educates them onto what to expect after they graduate, and it inspires and revives their drives to thrive in life. Now, the hashtag SUE 2018 Roadshow, it is still headed to the University of Venda, University of Limpopo, and the Sefako Magato Health Science University, and we will keep you posted on all of these events still to come. So if you are a student at one of these institutions, keep it locked to Expresso to find out more.
Exactly. You can also head to this website, edhe.co.za, to find out more about the Entrepreneurship Development in Higher Education program and to keep up with the skills and opportunities that are being provided by the Department of Higher Education and Training. You can also visit dhet.gov.za.
Right, now we all know how amazing Rian Smith's voice is, but after the break we get to know him a little bit better and get to know what gets him ticking and going. Are you ready for that?
I'm ready, man.
Ready, man. Also coming up after the break, we're going to be checking out an artist, the first athlete to run the entire Cape Fold mountain range, so stay with us.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Time to get to know our star performer this morning. Rian Smith is here. He's gone solo, so it's time to find out about the man behind the incredible voice. Rian, first of all, welcome to it, dude. Sounding phenomenal this morning. Can't wait to find out a bit more about this new solo foray. Very exciting stuff. But first, we've got to get to know the man behind the voice. Are you ready for a game of rapid fire?
All right, let's do it.
I don't know if you are ready. Are you ready, bud? Are you really, really ready? Because
I'm gonna have to
this is intense, man. It's intense. It's got to be quick and it's got to be truthful. So that's all I want from you is honesty.
Okay, cool.
That's all I'm asking. All right, so can we start our countdown? We're going to try and get through as many of these as we can. In 3, 2, 1, booyah. Who's your favorite musician?
Tom Waits.
Celebrity crush?
Oh, that's a toughie.
I'm right here, man. I'm right here, man. Come on. Breakfast, lunch, or supper?
Eggs and bacon.
Okay, so it's breakfast without a doubt. Red or white wine?
Red.
What time do you go to bed?
About 2 a.m.
Biggest fear?
Ooh, let's see. Millions of questions.
Oh, wow. Favorite series?
Favorite series, Narcos.
Cool. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie, Snatch.
Favorite food, I'm guessing the eggs and bacon.
Lasagna.
Lasagna, yeah. Any allergies?
Pollen.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I know, allergic to nature.
Favorite popcorn topping?
Butter.
Oh. 3 things you would bring with you if you were stranded on an island?
Guitar, harmonica, and a knife.
Nice one. Top 3 pizza toppings?
Mince, peppers, jalapenos, cheese.
This can be a divisive one, you know that. Favorite ice cream flavor?
Vanilla.
And then I'll get one more in here. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
It's flying.
Flying. I dig that. A round of applause, please, for Rian. You got through a lot of questions there. You braced your biggest fear, and you smashed it. So a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Buddy, well done for that. It is quite revealing, actually. You find out a lot. I think the one thing that I really do want to know is why the solo phase now, and what has that transition been like?
It's something that's always been there, part of the journey. Crimson House keeps going, and Brothers Remedy, my other project, keeps going, and these projects, they survive forever. You know, it's like we never put it down. But I'm actually heading over to the States in a few weeks. I'll be doing a 6-month contract, and I'll be performing and touring. So I've got to start, for the first time at the age of 30, start playing some, solo shows.
You're a young man, dude. You're a young man. This is where it all begins. I mean, that's congratulations. That's massive going over to the US. And you're playing a kind of universal music mashup at the moment. We love the fact that this rhythm and blues, this soul, this bit of country, there's so much that is internationally appealing, certainly for an American market. Is that something that's guided you? Is this who you are?
Not at all. It's just who I am. I just play music, what I feel at the moment, and that's where I go,
What then, how do you go about building a set that you're going to play around the world? Is there something different? Is there something nerve-wracking about putting yourself out there on this kind of level and stage?
It's a case of just playing something that hopefully the crowd will enjoy. I tend to read crowds a lot and don't write set lists, so I feel the energy kind of coming back at me. And and also you change the set to suit different audiences. So if I'm playing in Europe and if I'm playing in America, I kind of know what their vibes are, what their, and you can swing it either way.
Which you can only do if you've got this massive body of work and you're unbelievably talented and can do pretty much any song, any genre. Is it different than building an album? Is that more introspective? Is that something that's more for you, or is it again just for the audience?
It's a bit of both. I've actually recently recorded an album that will be released next year, and it's a perfect flow of it's like 7 different genres, and I just kind of wrote what I felt like and played what I felt like, and it became such a lovely collection of songs that it's also introspective, but also just whatever I felt good, and go.
Oh man, you're going to get just a taste of what this man is all about as he embarks on this incredible solo journey. Rian Smith is here to perform just for you this morning. What an honor.
In the national news this morning, from midnight last night, South African motorists are paying almost 17 Rand a litre for both grades of petrol and around 15 Rand 65 cents for a litre of diesel. Now, the latter is the second most expensive input cost for grain farmers after fertilizer. The founder of the humanitarian organization Gift of the Givers, Dr. Imtiaz Suleiman, yesterday said rescue teams with highly specialized equipment would be leaving this morning for Indonesia, which was struck last Friday by an earthquake and a tsunami. The death toll presently stands at 1,234. On the international front, US First Lady Melania Trump landed in the Ghanaian capital of Accra yesterday morning on her maiden solo trip to Africa. The 48-year-old is promoting her Be Best initiative, designed to improve children's well-being. And then finally, 3 scientists, one of which is a woman yesterday, won the Nobel Physics Prize for inventing optical lasers that have paved the way for advanced precision instruments used in corrective eye surgery and in the industry. Donna Strickland of Canada is only the 3rd woman to win the Physics Prize. Well, that was your 6:30 news update. Here's another look at what's happening in the world of sport with Graham.
Locally in football, Bidvest Wits moved 2 points clear at the top of the ABSA Premiership table last night after they beat Cape Town City FC by 2-0 in Cape Town. Elsewhere, SuperSport and Polo City drew 1-1, while Kaizer Chiefs, their match against Highland Park, finished goalless. A little further afield, Man City got their Champions League campaign up and running last night thanks to a 2-1 win over Hoffenheim in Germany. In other results, Man United couldn't find a way past Valencia, while Real Madrid, they lost 1-0 to CSKA Moscow. Another bumper lineup of UEFA games on the way tonight. And then in cricket, the Proteas resume their ODI battle with Zimbabwe later today as the two nations face off in Bloem. Match at the Mangwang Oval gets underway at 1 o'clock. We'll expand on all of those stories at the top of the hour.
Well, let's get your Wednesday underway by taking a first look at what to expect on the roads. Starting off in central Johannesburg in Gauteng on the M1 northbound, there's a stationary vehicle. It's between the Crown Interchange and the Braamfontein, so you can expect some delays in that area. Then moving over to the Western Cape in De Doorns, there's on the N1 route an accident involving a truck before De Doorns. Traffic is queuing from both directions, so delays can be expected. Allow for some extra travel time. That's where we leave your traffic for now.
More than a club, more than an appliance brand. Defy.
Now, we've asked you to send through your good morning pictures, and we just want to say thank you to Jock Knutzer, who sent us this beautiful orange skyline from our hometown in Amanzimtoti in KZN. Now, if you're in that area today, you can expect some scattered rain around and windy conditions reaching a maximum of only 18 degrees Celsius. But on that note, let's take a look at the rest of the temperatures, starting off in Polokwane. Your minimum for today is 10, your maximum 28. In Mbombela, 10 with a high of 20 can be expected. Pretoria, 6 with a high of 29, Johannesburg 4 reaching a high of 26. It's partly cloudy in Mahikeng, 8-28, Klerksdorp 6 with a high of 24. Sunny conditions in Kimberley, 5's your minimum, 21 your maximum. If you're in Bloemfontein, 1 is your minimum, reaching a high of 19. Richards Bay 14 with a high of 19. Some rain is expected in Pietermaritzburg, 15 with a high of 13. Durban 14 with a high of 18. Mthatha 5 with a high of 14. East London 11 reaching a high of 17. It's partly cloudy in Cradock's 3 with a high of 15. Port Elizabeth 11 reaching a high of 19. Some rain expected in George 8 with a high of 16. Sutherland 1 reaching a high of 15. If you're in the Mother City today, 10 can be expected as a minimum, 20 a maximum. Worcester sunny with a low of 5, a high of 21. Springbok 12, 25 and Uppington 9 reaching a high of 26 degrees Celsius. On that note, we'll bring you another update in half an hour.
Right, something phenomenal has been done by my next guest. Now that the summer weather is, of course, slowly creeping out, and was a beautiful weather weekend here in the Mother City especially, it means that we can now finally head out into nature to enjoy the best that South Africa and its wildlands have to offer. Now, our next guest has done just that, but he decided to take on a whole other level, all right? This past month, adventure athlete Damian Schumann became the first athlete ever to traverse the entire Cape Folds mountain range. Just wrap your head around that for a second. Now, he started the run on September the 1st in the Cedarburg, and on Monday, he finished near Uitenhage in the Eastern Cape, which saw him cover a whopping 1,200 kilometers of rugged mountain terrain, and he's here to talk about it all. Damian, thank you very much for joining us, my friend. First and foremost, obviously this is not, I think, your first rodeo of an extreme event like this, but how are you feeling, man, having just finished on Monday?
Feeling surprisingly good, actually. I think I'm still on a bit of a high at the moment, but yeah, I've been having lots of congratulations coming through, which has been amazing. But yeah, I think in a few days.
You know what? At this stage, let's give it to the fresh mountain air. It was good. Listen, what gave rise to this challenge? Why did you decide to take this on? I mean, wow, look at that, man.
Yeah, you know, I absolutely love being outdoors, and one day I was literally looking at maps at all of my favorite places, the Cedarburg, the Hex, the Outeniquas, and suddenly realized they were all on the same line and range. And they're all incredibly diverse, and I was curious what was in between and how the one morphs into the next. And I thought...
And that's it. Yeah. Simple reason. And I love the fact that you have that adventurous spirit. And I think, you know, for many nature lovers out there, I'm sure they would love to step in your shoes and also experience what you've experienced. Now, your journey took about a month to complete, which is phenomenal. I mean, you were out there. What were some of your biggest challenges taking back? Because this is rugged terrain.
Yes, yeah, and very often off trail.
Yeah.
So you know, when it's you in your running shoes and no reception and nobody else for kilometers, it's the ultimate test of man versus nature and survival. So the biggest challenges were always constant weather changing and the terrain. So I mean, we went from everything from knee-deep snow to hail to like temperatures over 30 degrees to I had to climb down cliffs with 200-300 meter drops beneath me and you know, like navigating around wild animals and things like that.
That's incredible. But listen, you decided to take on this trip, and obviously there were some challenges, but I'm sure there were some things that really stood out for you that you can take away. You had some videographers and photographers with you that joined you on the journey where they could, obviously as well. What were some of those moments, I mean, that stands out for you? What have you come to realize within completing this mountain range, and what do we have as in terms of a gem in South Africa?
Yeah, you know, I mean, for me, this was always about learning about my backyard. And like, I mean, like one example, so the Cape Fold falls into the Cape Floral Kingdom, which, I mean, to give you a clue, it takes up 0.5% of Africa's landmass, but has 20% of its flora and fauna in that space.
Wow, and, that's impressive.
Yeah, and so I mean, just knowing that diversity is out there and how much we have is just incredible. And the best way to see that is to take it slower, get on your feet, and get into the middle of nowhere.
I just get in there, man. But I don't think people grasp actually what it is that you went through. It is an amazing experience, I'm sure, but like you rightly said, challenging at that with all the weather conditions. I mean, you did it in the middle of winter almost, you know, and we have had quite the winter. But now that you've wrapped up this, you are returning to the mountains once again very soon.
Yes, yeah. Actually, after this this interview, I'm going back.
Where to?
We're going to go back to the Cedarburg just for... I'm not packing my running shoes this time.
Okay.
I'm packing my rock climbing shoes. But it's just some reflection time to process what's just happened.
Look, I think that's phenomenal. We saw some incredible images. Where can people kind of see you on social media and just follow you?
So everything was documented on my Instagram account at Damien Schumann.
Okay.
And then I mean, I work as a photographer and filmmaker as well, and you can see that work at dspgallery.com.
I think it's going to be amazing. But Daniel Schumann, that's where we need to head. Damien, thank you very much for joining us this morning, man, and congratulations on this feat. And I'm looking forward to see what you're going to be tackling next time around. Maybe the Drakensberg, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Damien Schumann, check him out on social media. Absolutely phenomenal. Those pictures will blow your mind.
Well, still to come on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, we're going to be taking a look at the top 40 local and international tracks that you are hearing currently blaring all over your radio. And of course, who's going to take that #1
That was such an old person thing to say.
Blaring away. Loud.
Well, all those tracks are certainly going to get your earlobes vibrating, but one other performance that's going to do exactly that is Rian Smith. He's in the studio coming up after the break.
This coming Thursday on Winner Home, the design contestants rush to complete the rooms of their first challenge. Will they make it in time before the deadline? And what will the judges think of their efforts?
Sure, looks like something's missing in this room.
Plus, stand in line to win amazing weekly prizes and your chance of winning the grand prize, your very own home. Catch Winner Home, Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3. The stage is yours. Winner Home, proudly brought to you by Capitec and Private Property. Grand Prize Luxury Penthouse Apartment by Bowen Properties.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show, Tabi. So you have to move your shoulders. That's how it goes. There we go.
Get
Time
with the
for
program.
international, in fact, our local entertainment news. Our stars are just doing so amazing abroad, locally.
Yeah.
What are they up to?
You see, Tabisa actually doesn't do the shoulders. He twerks for a living.
Okay,
So
that's
next time
That
we'll
is my
start
life.
local entertainment news like that, hey? Definitely. Well, local singer Kelly Kamalo has taken to Instagram to address rumors that she is undergoing training to become a traditional healer. Now, after sharing a photo of herself wearing what some believe to be traditional attire, followers started speculating that the singer might have received the calling and was in the process of becoming a traditional healer. Now, she captioned the photo, "Use the power you have been given." Kelly decided to address the rumors with a video on Instagram, as one does, and in the video, where she speaks in a Russian accent, she asks journalists to stay out of her business and to stop questioning her on the matter. Let's take a look.
You know, as I'm driving here, I'm thinking to myself, you know, journalists, they getting very big lever. They calling me, hey, Kelly, you know, we are hearing that you're a traditional healer, hey. And I think to myself, if I am the traditional healer you're believing me to be, I would not be aggravating me if I were you, because I might be just sending you 5 lightnings, or maybe I sending you 100 bees, just to stinging you to stay out of my business. And I don't even needing you to your address, huh? My Wi-Fi, she's fully functional, okay?
But where in Russia are you from? That's what I want to know.
Oh,
It's
man.
so cute. Well, anyways, I think the media has now gotten the hint that you do not want to be stung by 100 bees.
And she doesn't need
That
your
would
physical
not be
address.
fun.
She will use her Wi-Fi, which is fully functional.
Exactly. However, the lightning is a thing in Joburg, so hey, if it happens, it happens, you know? Oh, Kelly Kamalo. Stay out of her business. You heard it here first.
We know that things are constantly shifting, changing, morphing in the musical landscape. We've heard new music from Bosiswa, Prince KB, who's having a phenomenal year at the moment, but who will take that coveted #1 spot at the top of the 5FM Top 40 local and international chart? Let's find out from the Hamman.
Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's Nick Hammond here, back to recap the 5FM Top 40 from this past weekend. And like we always do, we jump straight in and begin by looking at the brand new entries onto the charts. At number 34 this week, it's new music from Jethro Tate and Big Star Johnson, local collaboration called Burn Me. DJ Mshega and Lady Zamar have taken the number 29 spot this week on the 5FM Top 40. It's brand new music with a track called The End. Time to check out my mover and shaker picks for the week. The first one coming in at number 17 after only 2 weeks in the charts from SoundCloud rapper Lil Pump teaming up with Kanye West. This track is called I Love It.
I love it. You're such a freaky girl. I love it.
My second mover and shaker pick this week is in at number 16. It's a brand new entry, which is not often something we make as a mover and shaker, but it's local and fantastic, and I think it could go all the way to #1. It's the latest hit from Questa called Furvai. Time to check out the top 10 biggest hits on 5FM for this past weekend. Now, beginning at number 10, it's the breakout star from the UK for 2018, Ella May, teaming up with Nicki Minaj on her remix of Boot Up. Then at number 9 this week on the 5FM Top 40, off his album Scorpion, it's a former #1 from Drake, In My Feelings. Calvin Harris and Sam Smith take your number 8 spot this week on the 5FM Top 40. The tune is called Promises.
I made no promises. I can't do golden rings, but I'll give you everything.
Coming in at number 7, it's our second former number 1 on the top 10 this week in the 5FM Top 40. It's Maroon 5 and Cardi B with Girls Like You. At number 6, it's Prince KB and TNS with Busi Siswa called Bano Moya. Coming in at your number 5 spot this week, he's a long-time songwriter, finally stepping out in front of the mic as a singer. It's Benny Blanco teaming up with Halsey. The track is called Eastside. She used to meet me on the east side. Coming in at number 4 is 5 Seconds of Summer on the 5FM Top 40. This hit called Young Blood. Your number 3 spot this week on the 5FM Top 40 went to George Ezra, the first single of his now latest album with 2 singles called Shotgun. Coming in this week at number 2 on the 5FM Top 40, the second highest local song on the charts, by the way. It's AKA with Fella in Versace. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Make sure to keep listening to me, Nick Hammond, Monday to Fridays 9 to 12 on 5FM's Hammond Time. And of course, every Saturday 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. as we find out together which song is going to take that number 1 spot on the 5FM Top 40. And speaking of which, this past weekend, for another week in a row, it's gone to Black Coffee and David Guetta with Drive.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Nick Hammond, bringing us the best of what's happening on the 5FM Top 40 local and international chart. And it's great to see the local stars doing so amazing, because we're asking you, are you the smoothest fan to the biggest stars in Mzansi? Because Tropica is looking for the smoothest fan of some of South Africa's biggest celebrities who will put their skills and their celeb knowledge to the test.
This is causing waves at the moment, and it's so nice to see the consumers are getting involved and they want to know, they want to share their knowledge about their favorite celebs, which is great. But all you have to do is buy Tropica and follow the entry details on the bottle, and then select your favorite celeb who you think you know best, and you could stand a chance to win thousands of instant daily prizes and a share of 1 million rand.
Oh, that's exciting. And Tropica has given away airtime to over 15,000 winners from the start of the competition. So make sure you buy your Tropica and you enter, and you could be winning your share of incredible smooth prizes, some airtime and cash. And of course, those T's and C's do apply, and you can find them at tropica.co.za.
Smooth.
Well, still to come on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, we're sitting down with author Vanessa Raffaele as we chat about her debut novel, +1.
That's right. Also still coming up after the break, Rian is going to perform for us. Rian, what would you like? You've been asking for coffee the whole morning. Princess, please can we have a takeaway for this gentleman?
Oh, yes, please.
Also, please can I have a muffin? A blueberry one. You better make sure you stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, after the break. Let's have some coffee.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Enjoy a moment in between with McCafe. See you after the break.
Cool. Can I get a little louder? Hey, 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 hey. Yeah, the guitar a little louder. I caught a ride back to my home. I guess the whole thing could come up a little. Da da da, ba da 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 da, za ba da 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 da. Oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I caught a ride back to my hometown. Been gone a real long time. Yeah.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on a Wednesday. It's Hump Day Madness, and it's time for us to check in on some of the interesting, funny, and random things we have stumbled across on social media this morning.
Well, the first one I got for you, it's an oldie, but it's a goodie, so we thought we'd bring it to you again on this Wednesday morning. When it comes to taking public transport, I think a lot of people realize sometimes your space is not your space, you don't have much of a say, but this is a 4-minute long video of a man and a lady fighting wordlessly over whether the window should be open or closed. It was a long battle that one of the commuters in Russia took the video and...
You know what, this is painful to watch.
It really is.
And they don't say a word to each other, they don't look at each other.
But they don't compromise either. How about opening the window just halfway?
This is so familiar. It just reminds me of the studio here on the show when we have to do the weather outside and the rest of us are sitting inside the studio and we're trying to close the door and you're trying to open the door.
It's cold.
Oh, man. Listen, the next story, I mean, remember that African gentleman that became a French citizen for saving that climbed the balcony?
Yes, he was dubbed, wasn't he, the human Spider-Man?
Yes, the human Spider-Man. Well, anyway, a similar story because recently, a child reporting climbed out of a window of a 7-story flat while his mom was out of the house, and within seconds the boy fell, and then Mr. Karev, the neighbor, look at this, caught the boy. What on earth? Oh, no! Why would you climb? And there's Mr. Karev. Oh, come on! What a catch! What a catch! But I mean, this neighbor obviously just living below the flat. He made this life-saving catch. And Mr. Karev was presented with an award by the capital city's mayor, Bucket Sultanov, who lauded him as a perfect model of how people should treat one another.
Yeah, be on standby for children trying to fly off people's balconies.
Why did mom leave the boy alone in the flat?
Well, you know, you might have had a babysitter, maybe an older sibling, but kids get up to naughty things.
They can be really sneaky. Staying in with kids' news, I mean, there's probably nothing as horrifying as watching your child get run over by a car. This child in India has had a lucky escape after he was run over by a car. So in the video, you're seeing, you know, it captures a horrifying moment. You can see,
what on earth?
Are we allowed to show this on TV?
And then the child gets up, continues with the playing.
No.
Just like unharmed. I mean, please can we play that again, please? I know we're probably running out of time.
No, it's a bit graphic.
Is it a bit? Okay, all right. Okay, well, which hashtag video or story has caught your attention online this morning or any other morning or day? Share your thoughts with us online on our Facebook page or on Twitter using our Expresso Show hashtag.
Wow. All right, well, after the trauma of those videos, let's calm things down a little bit. If you've been wondering why we are so unbelievably excited about the solo foray of Rian Smith, of course, one of the driving forces behind Crimson House, this is why, here to perform one of his tracks. It's Holding My Heart in My Hand. Yeah.
Back to my hometown after being gone a real long time. When I got home, I was a stranger, holding my heart in my hand. I went on down to my old tavern where all the winos knew my name. Well, I went on in, I made my order. I say, oh, holding my heart in my hand. I asked the owner if I could sing there. Said trade some food or for a jam. I went on in, and in my hunger, I was holding my heart in my hand, singing my heart, oh, singing my soul, giving all I got to give to this world. This is my calling, doing what I can. I say holding my heart in my hand. Thank you.
Yeah, dude. Wow, you low down, dirty, soulful. That was awesome, man. Is the harmonica your heart?
Oh, I love that thing.
That
yeah.
was awesome.
It's like a party trick, you know, it keeps it in your pocket. Party in my pocket is what I call
and
it.
I'm thinking, like, can he bridge it? Can he do it? Can he get the guitar up in time? I'm now beginning to understand how your performances kind of unfold organically. How much fun is it being able to express yourself and perform for you now in the way that you want to do it, the music that you want to do? That just looked like too much fun, dude.
Oh yeah, no, it's a ball. I always have a good time, and I love it. It's what I do, and it's what I'll always do.
What is that song about? I mean, we get the vibe, and it does fit a very familiar kind of bluesy model, but for you, what does it mean?
It means it's literally what the lyrics are saying is that, like, you always have to start over again. And I find myself having to, you know, you get to a new place or an old place, you go back to the town you come from, and you're a stranger. And then you go to a new place, and you're a stranger again, you got to start over. And as a musician, I've had to do that many a time, where you show up and it's like, somewhere you're a hero, and somewhere else nobody knows you. And it's cool, start again.
This is the man who's about to go over to the US to spread his wings, man. I love it. That's blues, man. That's blues, that's rock and roll, dude. That was awesome. You can let us know on all of our social media platforms what you thought about that superb mastery of his art. Rian Smith is here all morning just for you.
In the national news, long queues were experienced at fuel pumps last night ahead of a record high fuel price increase. From midnight last night, motorists are paying almost 17 Rand a litre for both grades of petrol and around 15 Rand 65 cents a litre for diesel. Now, the sharp rise will especially have a negative impact on the agricultural sector. Diesel is now the second most expensive input cost for grain farmers after fertilizer. In a country where maize is a staple food, the rise in the cost of diesel will also have a negative effect on poor communities. The founder of the humanitarian organization Gift of the Givers, Dr. Imtiaz Suleiman, yesterday said rescue teams with highly specialized equipment accompanied by a number of medical personnel and essential supplies would be leaving for Indonesia this morning. He said depending on the challenges presented by the 7.5 earthquake and resultant tsunami that struck last Friday, more rescue teams will be dispatched. The Gift of the Givers has responded to a call for international assistance from Indonesian President Joko Widodo. Now, the death toll presently stands at 1,234. Now, moving further abroad, US First Lady Melania Trump landed in the Ghanaian capital Accra yesterday morning on her maiden solo trip to Africa. Trump left the sanctuary of the East Wing of the White House, making her visit as much about mending fences as carving her own diplomatic path. On her four-country week-long tour of Africa, Trump is aiming to cast a more positive light on her embattled husband's administration and its America First agenda. The 48-year-old is promoting her Be Best initiative, her official agenda unveiled in May and designed to improve children's well-being. And then finally, 3 scientists yesterday won the Nobel Physics Prize for inventing optical lasers that have paved the way for advanced precision instruments used in corrective eye surgery and in industry, the jury said. 96-year-old Arthur Ashkin of the United States won half of the $1 million prize, while Gerard Moreau of France and Donna Strickland of Canada shared the other half. Strickland is only the 3rd woman to win the physics prize. Before her, only Marie Curie and Maria Goupart-Meyer had won the physics prize in 1903 and 1963, respectively. Well, that was your 7 o'clock news update. Here's another look at what's happening in the world of sport with Graham.
Thanks so much, Lee. As always, football dominating in the midweek roundup. Locally, Bidvest Wits moved 2 points clear at the top of the Absa Premiership table last night after they beat Cape Town City FC by 2-0 in Cape Town. Both goals came in the first half as Simon Murray scored a brace. Successful penalty put Wits ahead in the 8th minute before a stoppage time goal made it 2-0. Elsewhere, SuperSport and Polo City drew 1-1 while Kaizer Chiefs, their match against Highlands Park, finished goalless. Then a little further afield, Man City got their Champions League campaign up and running last night thanks to a 2-1 win over Hoffenheim in Germany. City looked on course for a second straight defeat in the competition as they conceded a goal in the first minute, but the English champions secured the comeback win thanks to superb goals from Sergio Aguero and David Silva. In other results, Man United couldn't find a way past Valencia. Real Madrid lost 1-0 to CSKA Moscow, while Paulo Dybala, he scored a hat-trick to help Juventus beat Young Boys 3-0, and of course another bumper lineup on the way tonight in the UEFA Champions League. And then finally in cricket, the Proteas resume their ODI battle with Zimbabwe today as the two nations face off in Bloemfontein. A victory in the City of Roses will ensure that South Africa claim the 3-match series victory with 1 game still to play. That was after they won the first ODI by 5 wickets in Kimberley this past Sunday. Today's match at the Mangwang Oval in Bloem gets underway at 1 o'clock. Go show some Protea fire if you can. That's where we leave our sport for now.
Right, let's quickly take a look at what's happening out on the roads. It's your Wednesday morning, nice and early still. Just after 7 o'clock in Gauteng, Bedford View on the N3 northbound. There's a stationary vehicle before the Van Buren Road, closing the left lane. That's to be blocked. Please keep a lookout for that. That is going to increase some traffic. And over in the Western Cape Observatory on the N2 inbound, there's a stationary vehicle after Philip Kosana Drive ramp, causing the right lane to be blocked. So please approach there with caution and also plan your route accordingly this morning. And if you are still heading out on the roads, please drive with care. Getting straight into your weather, we've asked to see some of your pictures, showing us what it looks like in your parts of the world. We got a beautiful picture this morning from Jessica Mignon. Sent us a beautiful picture, sunrise from Belito in KwaZulu-Natal. Thank you very much. Beautiful sunrise there this morning. You can expect chilly conditions though, with some morning showers as well expected, reaching a maximum of around 18 degrees. Jessica, thank you very much for your picture. Really appreciate it. Looks like you're waking up to a magical morning on that side of the world. But please continue to send in those pictures. You can post them on our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page. And then with regards to your temperatures, Polokwane starting off on 10 minimum, reaching a high of 28 degrees. Mbombela 10-20, Pretoria 6 and a high of 29 with some scattered showers expected. Johannesburg 426, Mahikeng 8 minimum, your maximum a warm 28, Klerksdorp 624, Kimberley 521, Bloemfontein on 1 minimum reaching a high of 19, Richards Bay 14 with a maximum 19 and thunder showers expected, Pietermaritzburg 513 with some rain forecast as well, Durban 1418 also some rain expected, Mthatha 514, East London 11 with a maximum 17, Cradock 315, Port Elizabeth 1119, George 8 and a high of 16 degrees with some rain expected, Sutherland 115 staying cool, Cape Town 20, Worcester 521, Springbok 1225 and Uppington 9 minimum with a maximum 26 degrees. That's where we leave your traffic and your weather for the 7 o'clock bulletin. We'll have another update for you in half an hour's time.
Well, we are taking the quickest of breaks. When we get back, she's contributed significantly to the South African media, and that's why she was honored as a media legend. I'm talking about Dr. Felicia Mabuza-Suttle.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Felicia, yes. Oh, I love that song. Still remember it like it was yesterday. And then I'm so honored to be sitting down with author Vanessa Raffaeli with her brand new debut novel, Plus One. All that more coming up on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Don't take credit. Unexpected coming from a bank. But just think about it. Using credit to finance a flashy lifestyle to show that you've arrived won't help you live better. What's new today is old tomorrow, except for the debt that you still have to pay. But do take credit to renovate your home, buy a more reliable car, or pay for your children's education. If that's your goal, then Capitec will help you realize your dreams. Because living better starts when you get credit for the right reasons.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. We've been teasing about it all morning, and now the moment has finally come. But this tweet about the book that we're about to review comes from the author herself. Now, the book is Vanessa Raffaele's new novel, +1, and the tweet reads, "I wrote a book. It's about the sleazy, darker side of the celebrity and women's media, female friendship, ambition, Hollywood. Oh, and someone dies." Please, let's give Vanessa Raffaele a very warm Expresso welcome like only we know how to do. Vanessa, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Let me tell you, I'm always up for a good read, especially when I'm traveling on long flights. I need to know what's going to be good, and I feel like this is going to be my next read. But let's talk more about how +1 came together. Apparently, it was due to your lived experiences, not only in the media, but in Hollywood itself.
I had some dodgy boyfriends in my youth.
Oh,
so a couple of Hollywood people. And yes, it is lived experience, but it's not an autobiography. I have children, and they're 2 sex scenes. So I have to make that absolutely clear.
I see. Okay, no worries. Do you name names, or do you give them pseudonyms?
No, it's not an autobiography at all.
Okay.
It's just background information. You know, they say when you write your first book, you should write about what you know.
Yeah.
And I was in the media industry for 30 years, and I didn't really know anything else.
Yeah.
So I wrote about that.
Do you want to give us, I know you say there are some saucy parts, it's not an autobiography, but can you give us like a little bit of a sneak peek as to what we can expect from +1, the novel?
It's about 2 young women who have the kind of power that young women have. They're beautiful, they're clever, they're ambitious. And they rub up against a very powerful system and a very powerful man, and not a very good system and not a very good man.
Yeah.
And the events that kind of bring them together haunt them for the rest of their lives. And, yeah, like I said, someone dies.
Yeah. I think that, you know, the Me Too movement and the Time's Up movement is very prevalent right now. Not I think, I know, but the book touches on that as well.
Absolutely, because you can't live in the worlds that I lived in. In fact, you can't be a woman living in the world at all and not have that being one of your lived experiences, unfortunately.
Now, I know that Anela Mdola gave the book a very glowing review. What has been people's responses so far, and how does it make you feel?
It's been so wonderful because people have said what I hoped they would say, which is that it's pacey, that it's a page-turner, that they didn't see the end coming, that they love the hero, and that he surprises them, that the heroine they identify with, and that it reads so fast that they can't actually put it down.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
Good for a flight.
Good for a flight.
Good for a flight, good for lying under a palm tree.
I'm so happy. I'm ready for it. When you decided to approach writing a book, what is the most daunting part? Because I always feel as an author, you know, are you nervous as to how the audience is going to receive the book?
Of course. You have to abandon all dignity when you're a novelist, because you are putting yourself out there, and you have to humble yourself completely because, you know, you really want to sell those books. But part of you is also absolutely embarrassed that someone is going to be reading, especially the sex scenes.
Exactly.
So, you know, yes, it is. It's been an incredible ride, though.
And do you fall in love with the characters and find it hard to let them go? Or when you're done writing the book, you're like, okay, cool, I'm done with you, I'm ready to move on to the next thing?
It took 16 rewrites of this book, so I was, at the time I finished, I was very done.
Yeah.
But what's been so amazing is it hasn't been out for very long, and everyone who's read it has fallen in love with the characters. Yeah. So I feel like there's momentum. People want to know, and especially because there was such a big twist in the end and such a shock. I think people want to know what happened to the characters that they fell in love with a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Well, I can't wait to read it.
Thank
well
you
done
so
and
much.
congratulations.
Thank you.
And I hope that this is just the first of many.
Yes, I hope so too. Thank you.
She's like, can we just get this one out the way first? Vanessa, thank you so much and all the best. Vanessa Raffaele's latest literary offering, +1, is available nationwide at leading bookstores and outlets and can be found online at various online retailers. And that one is going with me to London very soon.
Well, today is Woman Crush Wednesday, a day where we get to give a shout out to the women we appreciate and to also, you know, the ones that encourage us to really be the best that we can be.
And certainly those pioneers who have done what few people have done before them. And the woman we are featuring today certainly fits that bill, I think held by many as the original queen of South African talk. She broached some pretty divisive, some pretty pertinent topics in a brand new South Africa. It's Felicia Mabuza-Suttle.
Post-1994, our country was in conversation about how we can unite as a rainbow nation. And it was during this transition period that Dr. Felicia Mabuza-Suttle cemented herself as one of the most popular talk show hosts in the country. I mean, I'm sure we can all remember that iconic theme song that invited us into our living rooms for an hour of introspective and spirited debate.
Although the show no longer broadcasts, Mum Felicia has continued to succeed both in Mzansi and the US as an award-winning entrepreneur, inspirational speaker, author and philanthropist. Her lifetime of work and achievements are being honoured at the 2018 Gauteng High Impact Leadership Summit.
Simpiwe, the summit is now in its second year. Last year's inaugural summit was in honour of Dr. Richard Maponya. I want to know, what is the mission behind this initiative?
The mission behind this initiative is to inspire the next generation of leaders and to celebrate our living legends while they're still alive. I've seen around that people that wax lyrical and poetic when people have passed on, and as EmpowerWorks we have decided to create a platform.
How are the speakers that are going to be sharing their knowledge here today selected?
In terms of choosing the choice of speakers, it was between us and the person that we're honoring today, Dr. Felicia Mabuza. The people that are very close to her, but also people that are influential in the leadership space, both business, politics, and just general when it comes to leadership issues.
What was the reasoning behind selecting Dr. Felicia Mabuza-Suttle as this year's guest of honor?
We've chosen Dr. Felicia Mabuza-Suttle because she's relevant. She has created a platform for most of us as business people, as media people, and people in general in business space. And we made a choice that this year, in 2018, we want to honor her as a living legend in the media space.
Keeping in the spirit of dynamic female entrepreneurs, the summit is providing sessions with seasoned businesswomen tackling topics like best leadership, cultivating innovation, and building proudly African economic enterprises to bring to the global stage.
Tebe, why would you say that it's important for entrepreneurs to have such platforms like this to exist, for female entrepreneurs to learn from role models like Mum Felicia Mabuza?
Well, it's very important because it provides them with an example of what is possible for people like Felicia who grew up in townships to be able to rise to that height of success. But platforms like this provides a stage to showcase their talent, to showcase examples of those who've been able to overcome those circumstances.
Having engaged with one of the most prolific broadcasters and businesswomen to come out of South Africa, what would you say are some of the key lessons that we can take away from her?
Your attitude determines your altitude. She's always been a go-getter. She always speaks about it, and that's all she spoke about. She spoke about, you know, it's possible for anybody, irrespective of where you come from. But I think the most important thing she talks about as well is that how important service is to country. And that's one of the sacrifices that she made when she came to South Africa, back to South Africa in 1992, to spend 10 years here, leaving a family behind in the United States.
Mum Felicia's rise to public prominence came with the talk show Top Level in 1992, which was later renamed to The Felicia Show with the slogan, "Let's get South Africa talking." She cemented her mark as the first black woman to host a talk show in South Africa. Ma, you lived a large part of your life overseas before returning to South Africa. You even obtained your tertiary education that side. How would you say that living overseas influenced your career as a broadcaster in South Africa?
Remember, before I left South Africa, I was working as a reporter for the World newspaper, which ended up being banned in 1976. I used to watch the news abroad and see myself one day do that. You cannot be what you cannot see. And then I decided my master's thesis is going to be on talk shows being an African concept, not an American concept.
Your iconic show, the Felicia Mabuza-Suttle show, came at a very pivotal time in our country. How would you say that that show helped reshape and help us heal from our troubled past as South Africans?
We lived in apartheid where we were scared of each other, where we had fear, where we had no trust for each other. So communications is the only way that eliminates fear. And I think even now, that is even needed more.
Earlier on, you mentioned that self-affirmation is something that's so important to you. You practice it every single day. What words of wisdom do you have for young people?
You know, I came home now with publications I was reading when I said, this reminds me of what I want to share with young people in South Africa. And it said, your life has a purpose. Your story is important. Your dreams count. Your words matter. You were born to make an impact. In the words of Mahatma Gandhi, be the change you want to see in your family. After that, extend it to your society. After that, extend it to your community. After that, to your country, and who knows, to the world.
Special stuff indeed. Right now, they're jumping to the kitchen for the very first time on your Wednesday morning. Abigail Donnelly, Woolworths Creative and Trend Director, joins us once again. Abby, hello.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome,
nice to
welcome.
See you again.
Nice to see you. Now, if you've had a bit of a hectic week, you don't feel like cooking up a storm, we're going to sort you out with a winner chicken dinner.
I like that.
Woolies chicken roast this afternoon or this morning. Abigail, this is great. I mean, Woolies chicken, I was just speaking to you just now. Brilliant. It was well priced. This is what I love. Very, very well priced. Delicious chicken as well. And you're going to show us how to make something special.
Absolutely. So this is one of our favorite, like, kind of weekday meals.
Yeah.
Although it does take 1.5 hours in the oven, it's really just kind of putting things quickly together and plonking it in the oven and leaving it.
That's what we want to know.
And then you can go and do the things, the homework and whatever else you need to do.
Exactly. Right.
So, a beautiful chicken, which is Daily Difference, which is on special at the moment. I've got a little bit of oil.
Right.
You can use sunflower oil. I always do. You can use olive oil if you want. Okay. And then we just need to sear this baby bird.
I have never in my life. Oh, there she's talking.
Squeaky, squeak.
I've never put a whole chicken in a pan, Abby.
It's just to brown it, because what we're going to do is because it needs colour, just in case the roasting time doesn't give it, because it's in a beautiful liquid as well.
Oh, okay,
so just quickly, look, I mean, just quickly with the salt, and it gives it a nice crust as well, just to make sure that you've got actually extra perfect crispy skin. So what we've got here is Dijon mustard.
Right.
I'm going to whisk in some milk. Again,
let me do the whisking for you.
You should be doing the pouring as well, seeing I'm making quite a bit of a mess.
That's all right.
Okay, some lemon peel. You can use orange.
Okay.
You can also make an Asian one. So instead of the milk, you could add, I'm going to turn that baby off, that's all you need on either side. You can add coconut milk and a packet of the Woolworths butter chicken paste.
Yes.
And then you put that in as well, and instead of the rosemary, which we've got here, you can use coriander.
All right, but let's stick to the ones we have now. Yeah.
Yes, so this is some fennel seeds. You can add coriander. And what I like is some vanilla. Vanilla paste doesn't always need to be used in desserts. It's lovely with fish, pork, and chicken. So we've got that beautiful little bit of paste. You can use vanilla extract as well.
Yep.
And then also some stock.
All right.
Some beautiful organic chicken stock as well.
And I love the fact it's ready-made in the box for you.
Exactly.
We're sorting you out. We really are. If you want to get your hands on the recipe, sorry, Abby, the keyword is Woolworths, SMS that to 33728. Right.
Okay, so this is a traditional Italian recipe, which is usually done with a shoulder of pork or a leg of pork.
Okay.
And what happens, and don't get a fright when it's baked, is the fat from the chicken curdles the milk solids.
Right.
And so it's not in a very attractive dinner party, probably meal.
But it's a delicious dinner party.
It's delicious.
That's
anyway.
what we want.
And if you don't fancy the curdling, apparently if you add a little bit of bicarb into this mixture, it neutralizes the fat.
Okay. But I mean, this is, I am surprised by the addition of the vanilla. I must be honest.
I know, and you will love it.
I'm
you're going to
sure
have
I
it for
will.
lunch. Well, you can have it for breakfast.
You know, this, I'm taking this, I'm just booking this for myself for lunch, all right?
Good, good.
So just like that, so a little bit of brown, okay.
Exactly, and then you just pour this around.
Oh,
and I will
look at
try
that.
not to spill
and of
again.
course that rosemary you will add to the flavour
You can
of
add
everything.
thyme if you want. You can make it, this probably just needs a little bit of a bigger dish.
Yeah.
And then there,
think we're
hey
good.
presto. Don't forget the rosemary, pop
Those-
it around
those
there.
things go inside.
And as I say, orange zest, grapefruit zest, lemon zest, whatever you fancy. Just a
My
beautiful
goodness,
chicken
and into
loves
the
it.
oven for about an hour and a half?
Hour and a half, just until it's kind of really soft. You can actually spoon the chicken. And then my favourite accompaniment
Which
would
is?
be cauliflower.
Cauliflower.
Rice or cauliflower puree, but again, it loves mashed potatoes as well. Anything that can knock
I'll
up
even
those
go
juices.
sweet potato with this, which
Yes,
would be very nice as well. Do you cover it at all?
Not at all.
Just like
Not at
that?
all, just like that. And as I say, coconut milk and some curry or Asian spices makes a beautiful one as well. And then obviously with some nice black Thai
You
rice.
see how quick this was. This is what we want for a midweek meal. A Woolies chicken roast. The keyword is Woolworths. SMS that to 33728. If you missed any of the steps, quickly take a look. All right. Well, we don't have those steps, it seems. But Abby, thank you very, very much for joining us this morning. Like I said, the keyword is Woolworths. SMS that to 33728. It will be on our website as well, expressoshow.com. Thank you very much. I'm going to give you a high five on that vanilla-infused chicken, man. I'm going to enjoy my lunch.
Looks delicious.
It does.
Well, we're going to take a quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast show. When we get back, we're going to take a look at our parenting advice, continuing that conversation around maternal instincts. And we have certified parenting coach Laura Makovic in studio with us. Whoa.
Things are falling apart. Everyone's getting excited about all of that, clearly. Still coming up after the break, we've got Reg Netherling coming to talk to us about the pink polo, so stay tuned.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for tuning in. It has been an amazing show. It's been interesting. It's been entertaining. It's been funny. There's been a bit of trauma.
It's been delicious.
It has been delicious. I haven't gotten over that what's trending thing, but I think what I found really interesting, because we obviously are both relatively new parents, we've been talking about maternal instincts and the duplicitous nature of it. Is that right? Is that the right word, Bastian? You think?
Is that a good one? Duplicitous?
But it is, because it happens, and Laura is going to continue that conversation because there is so much kind of baggage attached to this and expectation, especially for new moms, waiting for all of this to kick in, and it's different for every woman. And I think, can you give us a bit of a recap in terms of how you see this this conversation, why it's so important to have this conversation.
Yeah, so it's so important because, as you so eloquently put it, it is so different for different women and of course, for different men and how they experience parenthood as well. And so it's so important for women in particular to know around this concept of maternal instincts that actually it's something that doesn't happen for everyone. When it does happen and when it kicks in and that bond is there immediately and it's an instantaneous thing, that's fantastic and it's an incredible feeling. But for many, many women, that isn't something that happens instantaneously and takes a lot of work. And so it's so important for women to know about this and that they are not alone if they're not feeling this, to help them manage the potential judgment out there that's perceived and real and the terrible self-judgment that happens, the guilt that women can often feel associated with this, and really feeling alone is like, well, when is this overwhelming maternal feeling going to kick in? Is there something wrong with me? So it's really important to be having these kinds of conversations.
And it must be very difficult for women who feel that they don't have that natural maternal instinct, because sometimes you look at other women out there and it's just like, man, you just got to figure it out. You got to figure it out. I don't know how you do it. But can it be that, you know, maybe a woman might feel that, I don't have it. I don't have that connection with babies in general. But that instinct can kick in once baby arrives, and then naturally you find yourself progressing towards, you know, embracing that maternal
feeling
instinct.
More natural.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I mean, if we just suddenly feel, well, it hasn't happened, and is there something wrong with me, and I kind of just retreat, and I don't try and bond with my child or keep that connection growing, then yes, that feeling can be perpetuated. But I recommend, if that is something you're struggling with, that absolutely you express that vulnerability. You know, so often just speaking to people, and not necessarily, you know, when we need to seek professional help, absolutely, but speaking to other moms as well, you know, building a community of moms, getting role models who you do respect in terms of how they parent, and speaking to them, because when we express our vulnerability, which is often very hard to do, but once we do it, we really do open the channels for everybody to be able to share, that often this is a common feeling.
You and I express our vulnerability all the time. All the time. We cry into each other's shoulders all the time.
That's a very special bond that you have.
It's amazing to me because, you know, I think that community often is started through an antenatal kind of group where you've gone through similar milestones together, and it's a two-edged sword, because you're often comparing yourself or your child's progression and all of these these variables that are just that. They are so variable. Just something that popped into my head now is, because there's often depression attached to that, postpartum depression and those sorts of things. Is it linked to that in any way? Is it natural for a mom? Because there is so much going on, never mind the external influences, but just what's happening within you, that you can be left destabilized. And can those maternal instincts, what are those signs that they might not be there or might be kicking in, or should we even be looking for that?
Yeah, so as we said earlier, there's so many variables that impact how we come to motherhood or parenthood, including the hormones, including our experience of being parented, including our own personality, our own expectations around parenthood. So all that said, so can this feeling of feeling like I don't measure up to this thing of maternal instincts impact things? Absolutely. It can add to things. So, yeah, you know, you ask the question, well, what is something to look for? If you really are struggling to bond, or if you're seeing that a child is struggling to thrive, isn't engaging, eye contact, those sorts of things, then absolutely reach out. Get a bit of help, know that you're not alone, and seek help.
I think
connection.
the most important thing here, if you as a mom feel that, you know, you are struggling, that you're not making that connection, have those conversations. I think that is the first and foremost step that you need to take, because you're not alone, you're not going to be judged. You know, there's help out there among the mom community, and dads, step up to the plate and help your woman as well. Laura, thank you very, very much for joining us this morning.
In the national news, from midnight last night, South African motorists are paying almost 17 Rand a litre for both grades of petrol and around 15 Rand 65 cents for a litre of diesel. Now, the latter is the second most expensive input cost for grain farmers after fertilizer. The founder of the humanitarian organization Gift of the Givers, Dr. Imtiaz Suleiman, yesterday said that rescue teams with highly specialized equipment would be leaving this morning for Indonesia, which was struck last Friday by an earthquake and a tsunami. The death toll presently stands at 1,234. On the international front, US First Lady Melania Trump landed in the Ghanaian capital of Accra yesterday morning on her maiden solo trip to Africa. The 48-year-old is promoting her Be Best initiative designed to improve children's well-being. And then finally, 3 scientists, one of which is a woman, yesterday won the Nobel Physics Prize for inventing optical lasers that have paved the way for advanced precision instruments used in corrective eye surgery and in industry. Donna Strickland of Canada is the only the 3rd woman to win the Physics Prize. Well, that was your 7:30 news update. Here's another look at what's happening in the world of sport with Graham.
In football, locally, Bidvest Wits have now moved 2 points clear at the top of the ABSA Premiership table last night. It was after they beat Cape Town City FC by 2-0 in Cape Town. Elsewhere, SuperSport and Polokwane City drew 1-1. Chiefs and Highlands Park, they finished their encounter goalless. A little further afield, Man City got their Champions League campaign up and running, and that happened last night thanks to a 2-1 win over Hoffenheim in Germany. Some other results, Man United couldn't find a way past Valencia, while Real Madrid, they lost out 1-0 to CSKA Moscow. And in cricket, the Proteas resume their ODI battle with Zimbabwe later today. The two nations face off in Bloem. That match at the Mangwang Oval gets underway at 1 o'clock. Go show some Protea fire. We'll expand on those headlines one last time on the top of the hour.
Thank you, Graham. Let's take another look at your traffic in the Western Cape and the Dorings. Now, the road's been closed on the N1 eastbound due to an accident involving a truck. The road's been closed off to traffic and local diversions have been put in place. Please make use of an alternative route this morning. And then in Hout Bay at Chapman's Peak Drive, that road's also closed off to traffic due to rock falls. So please use an alternative route. And that's where we leave your traffic for now.
More than a club, more than an appliance brand. Defy.
Well, please continue to do those and send us those beautiful sunrise photos. And thank you to Bungu this morning, who sent us this amazing beachfront sunrise from Durban in KwaZulu-Natal, where you can expect southwest winds traveling about 39 kilometers an hour today, reaching a maximum of 18 degrees. But on that note, let's take a look at the rest of the temperatures, starting off in Polokwane. Your minimum for today is 10, your maximum 28. Mbombela 10 with a high of 20. Pretoria 6, 29. Johannesburg 4 with a high of 26. It's partly cloudy in Mahikeng, 8 with a high of 28. Klerksdorp 6 reaching a high of 24. It's sunny in Kimberley 5 with a high of 21. Bloemfontein 1 reaching a high of 19. Richards Bay 14 reaching a high of 19. Some rain is expected in Pietermaritzburg 5 with a high of 13. If you're in Durban today, 14 with a high of 18 can be expected. Mthatha 5 reaching a high of 14. East London 11, 17. Cradock 3 with a high of 15. Port Elizabeth 11 reaching a high of 19. Rain is expected in George, 8 with a high of 16. Sutherland 1 reaching a high of 15. Cape Town sunny, 10 with a high of 20. Worcester 5, 21. Springbok 12 with a high of 25. And Uppington 9 reaching a high of 26 degrees Celsius. That's where we leave your weather. A final update will be coming your way at 8 o'clock.
Now, the sport of kings, known as polo, is bringing people together once again for a good cause at the 9th annual Pink Polo event on Saturday, the 3rd of November in Paarl, where celebrities and polo enthusiasts alike will get decked in their Sunday best to raise funds for those affected by cancer. Joining us on Expresso this morning to share more ahead of the big day is Managing Director of Val de Vie Estate, Olympic gold medalist and professional hunk, Ryk Neethling, everybody. How do you feel about that last part?
Yeah, no, that you're embarrassing me a little bit.
No!
I'm going to have to get you back
But
somehow.
you're on a professional level like that,
No,
okay?
no, I'm retired. I'm over the hill.
Like a fine wine, you just get better with age. But anyways, I'm not going to embarrass you anymore, Ryk. It's so good to have you on the show.
Always good to be here.
The Pink Polo for the last 9 years has been a very big highlight on our calendars, not only for the fact that it is really a place where people love getting dressed up and watching polo, but it really is for a good cause. Why has it always been so important for you to align it with those that are affected with cancer?
I think that goes really down to the heart of Val-de-Vie. You know, so we started, you know, the Pink Polo event, you know, like I said, 9 years ago, and it really is the heart of Val-de-Vie. We want to make a difference. We really care about the community. It started very, very small, and it's grown into an amazing event. Yeah. You know, our events team has done an incredible job. It's become, you know, international. We've got international players, you know, that are flying in, you know, just to play in our event. Wow. We've exported it, you know, to other parts of the world, and I think we've touched tens of thousands of people, especially in the community there in Paul, Franschhoek and Wellington. Let's call it the Winelands. People that have had cancer, we bring them to the event, we really treat them, and we've done all kinds of campaigns to prevent or to, you know, like detect these, you know, like the different types of cancers early, so we can change these people's lives.
Yeah, I remember one of the years that I hosted it as well with Ayanda Dlamini. It was so wonderful to see the survivors being brought out and given a platform to shine and looking so beautiful and so radiant with life. Why is it also important for the Pink Polo to align itself with influential voices for this event as well?
Well, you know, as a you know, I don't like to use the word celebrity, but you know, somebody that is well known. It's, you know, it's one of the good things that you know, that happens to you, is that you have a bigger voice. You've got a big platform, and to use that voice for good. So we're very grateful for people like yourself to come and host it for us. You're also part of the growth of this event. And yeah, you know, hopefully on the day and in the next month, in the lead up to it, we can amplify that message. We can raise as much money, you know, as possible, and that money goes straight into the community, and yeah, just to make a better life for all.
I love it. Do you want to tell us more about the exciting partnership between the Pink Polo, Expresso, and Choc?
Yes. So we are donating 100 Rand for every ticket at the Pink Food Truck Fair, which is on the berms, on the grass. We hope to sell thousands of tickets, and that will go towards your program here at Expresso for Choc. I've also done a lot of work for Choc in the past. You know, my sister was diagnosed with cancer when she was 12 years old, so it's something that's very close to my heart as well. And you know, when you go and visit these homes and you just see how appreciative people are of the love and the care. So we are very excited to be part of you know, this partnership. I immediately thought about Expresso to join with you guys. I think this is an incredible platform, so thank you very much for the opportunity.
Well, thank you so much for jumping on board. We're very passionate about Choc and doing what we can to change the lives of these incredible young people who deserve a chance in life. But the day's also going to be very exciting. I've heard that you're going to have 2014's Miss World and Miss South Africa, Rolene Strauss is one of the hosts, and then of course our very own Katlego Mabwe is going to be hosting the show. What can the people that will be attending there expect from the day?
Well, I always feel like it's here in the Western Cape, you know, the summer starts a little bit later, so
yes,
it's still cold, yeah. So this is kind of the first event of the summer, so there's a lot of excitement for people to, like you said, dress up. For the people that haven't been to Val-de-Vie, we're surrounded by mountains. It's in the beautiful, you know, Cape Winelands. It really doesn't get any better than that, and lots of entertainment. You know, Rolene is also a resident at Val-de-Vie, so she's just going to walk from her house to the event.
Must be nice.
And I mean, she's just amazing. You know, she's a medical doctor, so she'll be able to share a little bit more from the medical side as well. So, and then Katlego, I think he's a superstar. I've you know, known him for a long time, and I thought he would be a great partner for her to be able to host it. So I'm looking forward to the day.
It's going to be absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, Reg, for being here, of course, for your partnership with us and Choc. And Pink Polo is always an incredible event with just so much heart.
Yeah, and I just want to say For people that want to buy tickets, they can go on to CompuTicket or the website. It's pinkpolo.co.za.
There we go, pinkpolo.co.za or CompuTicket. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks,
well, there you have it, the 2018 Polo happening on the 3rd of November. It's a Saturday. It is, of course, an amazing cause. You're going to see incredible people there. Rake's going to be there. It's worth attending. And, of course, Expresso is very much involved.
Stop flirting, Leanne, with Rake. My goodness. Honestly, we don't need it. Anyway, still coming up on your Feel Good Breakfast show, Expresso, we've got Ria Smith performing for us.
You were passionate about that. Listen, Rihanna is amazing, dude. That voice of his, stick around for that next performance. Then, of course, it's a Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. It's time for your culinary hotline. Bling, ting, ting, ting. Yes, everyone get involved. We have Anel and Jenny Morris joining us in the kitchen to answer your cooking conundrum questions. Stick around.
All Expresso presenters and guests fly domestically with Mango. Enjoy outstanding service, online check-in and seat selection. With the widest booking and payment options, Mango is the only airline globally to accept store charge cards as a means of payment. Fly in comfort with ergonomically efficient seats for more legroom aboard a fleet of new generation Boeing 737-800 aircraft. Join the presenters of Expresso and fly Mango.
Moving out? Need more room? Scaling down? Private property is a great place to start your search. With thousands of new properties from South Africa's top real estate agents, banks, developers and homeowners. It's the easiest way to find your next home. Search for a home on any device, anytime, anywhere. Search privateproperty.co.za.
Enter the Win a Home competition on privateproperty.co.za and stand a chance to win a brand new, fully decorated apartment at Parterflay Lifestyle Estate, developed by Baldwin Properties, worth over 3 million rand.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Well, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso on SABC3. It's time for us to find out what is happening with our international entertainment news.
We have not talked about Johnny Depp for a while because he's been on the down low a little bit, but he says that he's still grappling with the events that unfolded during his relationship with Amber Heard. Now, the alleged abuse, his loss of money, and the drama that ensued in the year after his divorce seemingly continues to haunt the actor, as is evident incident in a recent interview with GQ magazine. He details his struggles with Heard and his former business managers in a candid, thoughtful manner as he tries to detail his side of the story. Now, in reference to his alleged attack on Heard in May 2016, he says, she was at a party the next day. Her eye wasn't closed. She had her hair over her eye, but you could see the eye wasn't shut. 25 feet away from her, how, the bleep am I going to hit her? Which, by the way, is the last thing I would ever have done. I might look stupid, but I'm not stupid. Now, Depp also acknowledges that he has been physical towards paparazzi, but to say that he would hurt someone he loves couldn't even sound like me, he says. He never publicly addressed the supposed incident until now because he felt it wasn't worth getting into. And of course, he says, however, he does regret the way that it affected his children. He also asked in the interview with British GQ, how could someone, anyone, come up with something like this against someone when there's no truth to it whatsoever. He's sure that it wasn't easy for his 14-year-old son to go to school and, of course, have all the kids talking about it, with people going, hey, look at this magazine, that kind of thing. A lot of people, of course, putting pressure on the family. And I remember that time, and I think we all know that I am not a fan of the situation at all. But I do think, especially now with the Me Too movement and the Time's Up movement, that if you are truly in an abusive situation, yes, come out and say it. But I don't believe that this was the case, simply because Amber was in an abusive situation with a woman that she was dating at the time, and she was the one that was the perpetrator. She was the abuser in that situation. And once she got the money, it was all done with. So I feel really, really bad for him. Like, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I do think that this was a situation of somebody that just wanted to get out of the marriage and make some money at the same time as well.
That's insane.
So I'm not really happy about the situation, because there are a lot of people that have gone through that and that are trying to fight that battle. And then there are other people that are just kind of jumping on the bandwagon and saying, I'll see what I can get from it. So,
And it's just the disruption that it causes for the family, the whole family unit. And now you've got these poor children who are not involved in any of it, who now have to suffer the consequences of a possibly fake domestic violence situation.
No, I'm not a fan of that at all, especially if everyone's known her to be the one that's been in domestic violence at her own hand, to blame a man that has never done anything like that. So it's not cool.
It's not.
Anyways, something that is cool, however, moving on to a completely more light-hearted subject. He's one of my absolute favorites. If you are a fan of A-list celebrities like Beyonce, Joan Smalls, Carly Kloss, then you would want to listen up, because celebrity makeup artist Sir John, who is responsible for B's glowing skin amongst other red carpet stylists, is making his way back to South Africa, courtesy of Woolworths Beauty. Now, you can join one of the world's most renowned makeup artists for 2 exclusive masterclasses taking place on October the 20th in Cape Town and October the 27th in Johannesburg. You can look forward to live demos, amazing goodie bags, Woolworths breakfast and lunch canapes, surprise celebrity guests, and a meet and greet with the man himself. All you need to do is head to www.webtickets.co.za and look for the Cape Town and Johannesburg Beauty Masterclasses with Sir John event. Now, tickets are limited, so you have to book now. Join Sir John and Woolworths Beauty for a day that will transform your approach to makeup. It's time to get red carpet ready.
Right, so jumping into the kitchen right now with my man Graham, and Weet-Bix is like literally pure, wholesome kind of goodness that we've all grown up with. But I've come to realize that we all have our very unique and own way of how we like to enjoy our Weet-Bix.
Yep, and so much so we've been inspired to make every Wednesday a Weet-Bix Wednesday, whether you have it with cold milk, sans a la natural, or whether you even go savory. We've seen someone put avocado and egg on it. Whatever direction that you take it, it's time to get creative. Of course, we've been giving some cool prizes away, but I want you to break it down. I know you're kind of a simple nuts and bolts kind of guy.
Like, I grew up, especially throughout my high school years. I mean, that's where I most remember it from. But I just have a question. Who leaves half a Weet-Bix? Who does that?
Come on, who was snacking on a half a Weet-Bix?
Look, so I've got my bowl here that I've so nicely signed. That's kind of half a Superman sign there.
Decal and everything.
Look,
I love
very
that.
easy, simple. If I'm in a rush, especially in the mornings, I'll take at least 4.
Sure you don't want 3.5.
No. It's 4. Okay?
3 1/3 or whatever.
And this is very simple. 4 like that. It fits in nicely. Some
But that's
cold
quite a
milk.
lot, actually, because this
Bro,
is filling for me.
I'm a big boy.
Fills me up.
So there's 2 ways. This is one of them, and I love the way that it just soaks it up.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. So get it in there nicely, and then just some sugar. Now, obviously, back in the day, I ate way more sugar than I do now.
I would have traditionally put that entire thing of sugar on because I just love that.
No, absolutely.
The contrast of
so that is
sweet and
it.
crunch.
So if I wanted to really I almost say like upcycle it, I would put this in the microwave.
Oh wow!
And heat it.
It's like a porridge.
And heat it very nice, and then start mixing because it's soft and becomes like a nice porridge, like a sticky, sweet kind of porridge. So those are my 2 ultimate favorite ways. I don't deviate. You know, with things like avo and eggs and onions or whatever you put on there. I'm not judging.
You can get creative.
This is just me. This is my thing. So this is what I like. Plain, simple,
But then
just like that.
how do
it's
you
filling.
eat it? How do you go about? Because that's part of the process.
With a spoon. With a spoon.
Not like the person who just picked it out.
Look,
and
for me, Weet-Bix
nothing.
is one of those things. It is a fast, go-to, healthy snack. Great fiber in there. I love the addition. I wish this was around when I was a youngster. The protein variation, because this is what I will turn to right now.
And you've got light. You've got muesli for a bit of
You've got so many different
pizzazz.
variations, but I like to keep things simple. You know, this is what it's meant to be. You get all the flavor, you get the texture, you get all of that just by eating it nice and simple. But I will also some Bovril, some Marmite on there as a snack with a slice of cheese. Just as good for a snack, after school snack, you know.
I love that. I would have already eaten it because I like the crunch. I like the contrast between the milk and the crunch. But next Wednesday, I will explore my very own attempt at creating something special with Weet-Bix. But of course, we've been putting it to you guys to get creative. And we have to congratulate our latest winner, Marisa Ben Kria. Congratulations! Woohoo! She has got an incredible prize heading away, and she's on the line right now. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, Marisa? Am I saying it right?
Yes, you are.
Congratulations. So just very quickly, obviously you entered our competition, you joined us on social media, but how do you enjoy your Weet-Bix?
I usually add the Weet-Bix and then I add inkomati over that with a sprinkle of brown sugar.
Wow, okay.
Wow,
that must be delicious. I actually never tried. So it's very similar to how I would eat it, just adding the inkomasi with it.
Yes.
Lovely. Well,
Absolutely
Marisa,
love that,
thank
ma'am.
you very much for sharing. You have won yourself a 2,000 Rand grocery voucher, courtesy of Weet-Bix. It's making its way to you. Awesome, Marisa. So there we have it. Once again, also, I think very simple. Sticking to what I feel you meant to be eating Weet-Bix like.
It's traditional and it comes with so much goodness that you don't want to mess too much with that, but you can get creative. And of course, you have the chance to win as well by getting creative if you enter this week's competition where you can stand a chance of winning that 2,000 Rand grocery voucher. Wouldn't that be nice at this time of the month?
No.
Head to our Expresso Facebook page and comment on the competition post and tell us whether you prefer your Weet-Bix hot or cold or with water or milk. How do you like it? It's up to you. And make sure that you include the hashtag Weet-Bix and all those terms and conditions do apply and can be found on our website, expressoshow.com. Get chomping, dude.
I am getting in there.
Bro.
Breakfast time, baby.
Bix my way. How do you love your Weet-Bix?
It's so unique to see everyone's different ways, but we're about to take a quick break. When we get back, music's on its way. Rian Smith is with us in studio. He's going to bring you another performance.
Also, if you are having some challenges in the kitchen, we've got chefs on speed dial. Jenny will be in studio with us after the break. 021-430-9881. It's the Culinary hotline. Bling, ting, ting, ting.
This is your chance to win the home you've always dreamed of. Enter the Win a Home competition by voting for your favorite design duo on privateproperty.co.za and stand a chance of winning a fully decorated apartment at Parterflay Lifestyle Estate, developed by Baldwin Properties, worth over 3 million Rand. Plus, you'll automatically be entered into the weekly draw, where this coming Thursday night, you could walk away with the Samsung Gear Icon X with built-in music player, voice command coaching, and built-in heart monitor. And if that's not enough, Capitec clients stand a chance to win a further 5,000 Rand in cash. Competition details plus T's and C's can be found on the Private Property website. Win a Home every Thursday evening at 7:30 on SABC3. The stage is yours.
Sound check? All right, cool.
fight the fire burning in my soul. At the end of the line, there's a glowing light.
Now I'm not going to use that this time.
Cool.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning back in. You're about to get your just rewards. Rian Smith has been blowing us away with his solo efforts. He's about to embark on a solo journey that's going to take him all the way to the US of A. Here he is right now, misbehaving.
Yeah, man. Burning in my soul, yeah. Well, at the end of the line, there's a glowing light. I'm going in disguise as the night. Well, you get what you give, and I got what I gave. That's what you get when you misbehave, yeah. Well, you get what you get, and I got what I gave. That's what you get when you misbehave, yeah. Well, the law don't get me, then the bank will try. You can take my money, can't take my pride, what you get, and I got what I gave. That's what you get when you misbehave, yeah. Your mama, don't lose your head. That's what you get when you misbehave, yeah. You lose your mama, don't lose your head. That's what you get when you misbehave, yeah. Thank you.
You can misbehave all day long, buddy. Thank you so much for that. You can let us know again on our social media platforms what you thought of that. In fact, all of his performances, go and show him some love as well. He's going to be sticking around for the rest of this morning, so please show your appreciation for a superstar performer. Thank you so much. Let's dive right back into those news headlines.
In the national news, long queues were experienced at fuel pumps last night ahead of a record high fuel price increase. From midnight last night, motorists are paying almost 17 Rand a litre for both grades of petrol and around 15 Rand 65 cents a litre for diesel. The sharp rise will especially have a negative impact on the agricultural sector. Diesel is now the second most expensive input cost for grain farmers after fertilizer. In a country where maize is a staple food, the rise in the cost of diesel will also have a negative impact on poor communities. The founder of the humanitarian organization Gift of the Givers, Dr. Imtiaz Suleiman, yesterday said rescue teams with highly specialized equipment, accompanied by a number of medical personnel and essential supplies, could be leaving for Indonesia this morning. He said depending on the challenges presented by the 7.5 earthquake and resultant tsunami that struck last Friday, more rescue teams will be dispatched. The Gift of the Givers has responded to a call for international assistance from Indonesian President Joko Widodo. The death toll presently stands at 1,234. Now moving further abroad, US First Lady Melania Trump landed in the Ghanaian capital of Accra yesterday morning on her maiden solo trip to Africa. Trump left the sanctuary of the East Wing of the White House, making her visit as much about mending fences as carving her own diplomatic path. On her 4-country week-long tour of Africa, Trump is aiming to cast a more positive light on her embattled husband's administration and its America First agenda. The 48-year-old is promoting her Be Best initiative, her official agenda unveiled in May and designed to improve children's well-being. And then finally, 3 scientists yesterday won the Nobel Physics Prize for inventing optical lasers that have paved the way for advanced precision instruments used in corrective eye surgery and in industry, the jury said. 96-year-old Arthur Ashkin of the United States won half of the $1 million prize, while Gerard Moreau of France and Donna Strickland of Canada shared the other half. Strickland is only the 3rd woman to win the physics prize. Before her, only Marie Curie and Maria Goeppert-Mayer had won the physics prize in 1903 and 1963, respectively. Well, that was your 8 o'clock news update. Here is a final look at what's happening in the world of sport. Graham has the details.
Locally in football, Bidvest Bits have now moved 2 points clear at the top of the ABSA Premiership table. That came last night after they beat Cape Town City FC by 2-0 in Cape Town. Both goals coming in the first half as Simon Murray scored the brace. A successful penalty put Bits ahead in the 8th minute before a stoppage time goal made it 2-0. Elsewhere, SuperSport and Polokwane City shared the spoils with a 1-1 draw. Chiefs, their match against Highlands Park, finished goalless. Then in the UEFA Champions League, Man City got their campaign up and running properly last night thanks to a 2-1 win over Hoffenheim in Germany. City looked on course for a second straight defeat as they conceded a goal in the first minute of the game. The English champions secured the comeback thanks to goals from Sergio Aguero and David Silva. In other results, Man United couldn't find a way past Valencia. Real Madrid lost 1-0 to CSKA Moscow. While a Paulo Dybala hat-trick helped Juventus beat Young Boys 3-0, of course, with Barcelona and Tottenham Hotspur headlining another bumper lineup of UEFA Champions League matches to look forward to tonight. Then finally in cricket, the Proteas resumed their ODI battle with Zimbabwe today as the two nations face off in Bloemfontein. A victory in the City of Roses will ensure that South Africa claimed the 3-match series with 1 game to play. That was after they won the first ODI by 5 wickets in Kimberley this past Sunday. Today's match at the Mangwang Oval in Bloem gets underway at 1 o'clock. As always, we urge you to go show some Protea fire. And that's a wrap of your sport for this Wednesday morning.
Right, it's just after 8 o'clock. Let's quickly take a last look at what's happening out on the roads this morning. Starting off in Cape Town, Bellville, on the N1 outbound, there are road works before Durban Road, causing the right lane to be closed. There's heavy delays. You can expect that in that area. Just be wary of that. And then still staying in Cape Town, Chapman's Peak. On Chapman's Peak Drive, the road has been closed off to traffic. That's due to a rock fall, so just please find an alternative route this morning. That's what I have for you in terms of your roads this morning. If you're still heading out, so please drive with care.
Don't fear the flu. Boost your immune system with Effaflu-C Immune Booster by Pharmadynamics. Effective, affordable healthcare.
So as we get into your weather and your temperatures for the very last time, we asked you to send in some of your pictures, and we'd just like to take a moment to say thank you to each and every one of you that took those pictures and posted them on our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page. So a big thank you to Demiso Smith for your sunrise picture from Pumula in Johannesburg, Jock Knutzer for your orange skyline picture taken from Amanzim Toti there in KwaZulu-Natal, as well as Jessica Mignon for your beautiful sunrise from Bolito in KwaZulu-Natal, and lastly Mngisi for your amazing beachfront sunrise. Beautiful Beautiful stuff there all the way from Durban. Appreciate all of your photos, and we'll get into sharing some of your photos at home once again with the nation tomorrow morning on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Taking a last look though at your temperatures very quickly. Polokwane 10 a minimum, reaching a high of 28 degrees. Mbombela 10-20. Pretoria 6-29 with some scattered showers expected. Johannesburg 4-26. Mahikeng 8-28. Klerksdorp 6-24. Kimberley 5-21. Bloemfontein 1-19. Richards Bay 14 with a maximum 19. And thunder showers actually forecast for today. Pietermaritzburg 5-13, nice and cold with some rain expected. Durban 14-18 with rain as well. Mthatha 5-14, East London 11-17. Cradock on 3 minimum, reaching a high of 15. Port Elizabeth 11-19. George 8 and a high of 16 with rain forecast. Sutherland 1 minimum, staying cool with a maximum 15 degrees. Cape Town 10-20. Worcester 5-21. Springbok 12-25. And Uppington starting off on 9 minimum, reaching a high of 26 degrees. And that wraps up your weather and your traffic for your Wednesday morning.
Well, still to come on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, we're going to be getting a look at Zoey Brown's very first triathlon.
That's
absolutely
right.
Amazing.
It's exciting. I can't wait to see Zoe in her element. Also still coming up, Jenny and Anel, they're on standby to take your calls on 021-430-9881. There are chefs on speed dial as the Culinary hotline bling. Sing, sing, sing!
Science reaches for the truth. Science works for the big and the small, the old and the young. Science never gives up. And science is at the heart of biology-based nutrition for differences you can see, feel, and trust. The secret to lifelong health, it all starts with science.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary hotline bling.
Hey, welcome back. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso right here on SABC3. It's a Wednesday, which means it's time for the Culinary hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting. Yes, let's get in there. Anel Potgieter and the lovely Jenny Morris joining us. Give them a round of applause, everyone. Come on, our leading ladies. So good to have you guys back. Thank you very much. So hopefully we can solve some cooking conundrums this morning. I see you got little bits and pieces going on here. So let's get straight into it. The first question we had on Facebook from Anthea Yumat, who says, what makes the top of a jelly tart? What makes the top of a jelly tart? What makes the top of a jelly tart?
You know, it's quite a confusing question because if I was making a fruit tart,
then I would glaze it with a gelatine. You know, just to give it that flavour with some berry fruits or whatever. Or you could make a jelly custard and tennis biscuit tart.
Right.
You know, like a 3-layered thing. So
yeah, and then I think I mentioned it last time as well. When I make a cheesecake and I want a jelly layer on it, I just mix real jelly powder with hot water, but not like half the quantity of water. And then you let it cool, and then you pour it over, and it forms a beautiful jelly layer, and it sits. Yeah.
But real fruit jellies are lovely.
Yes,
if you've got the time.
If you got the
time.
It doesn't sound like a favourite thing to make.
No, I do when I've got the time.
But you don't have the time. Okay, cool. Well, I hope that helped you out, Anthea. We also had a question from Salona Govender via Twitter. It says, hi, Salona. Thank you very much for your question. It says, my family loves stew. What's the easiest, yummiest dumpling recipe?
Well, I grew up with dumplings and our stews. And there's a couple of various ways you can make it. You can either use yeast or you could use baking powder. Baking powder wants to cook far quicker, and that is really, really quick. If you do the yeast version, you have to rise it and treat it like bread. So I do the quick way. I use some either self-raising flour and I snip herbs into it and chives and that
Make it
kind
nice
of
flavourful, yeah.
Beautiful, flavourful. Sometimes instead of water, I use a little bit of buttermilk. And you just stick it on and you don't open that lid.
That's very important. I've heard that. When it comes to dumpling, you put it in, you close the lid, stab it.
Absolutely.
And it's not what is the English term for?
It gets tight.
Tight, yeah.
Yes.
It's like,
tight, yeah.
And what I also do is I replace half of the flour with some milli meal.
I do that as well. It's nice.
And it's also nice with a bit of Parmesan or like a strong cheese in it.
If you're making a tomato stew, the Parmesan version is lovely. I was saying to Anel, while we were having a little bit of makeup, that I eat pap twice a week, and I do half and half.
Yeah, there
half
we go.
Flour, half milli meal. It's delicious.
All right. Well, I hope that answered your question. Thank you very much, Salona. Now, if you want to call us with a cooking conundrum question, if you have an issue in the kitchen, 021-430-9881, that's where you can call us live. But we do have a caller on the line, Lizette from Pretoria. Hello, Lizette.
Morning, how are you guys?
Good, thank you. How are you doing this morning?
I'm very well, thank you. I just have a question.
Yes.
My question is, I have 3 potatoes and corned beef. What can I do with those 2?
Okay. So, yeah, some potatoes, some corned beef.
Yeah. I would make like a rosti with it, like a potato rosti with the corned beef inside. So what I'll do, I'll fry some onions. I'll put some cumin and garlic into the onions to give it some flavour. Then I'll take a fork and I'll loosen the corned beef a bit and add that to that mix.
Right.
Then I'll grate some potatoes, mix it all together, and on a klein pannetjie with lots of butter in, you put this potato and rosti down.
Nice.
Crisp it about 10 minutes on each side,
Love it.
slowly, so it crisps. Yes. And then beautiful, also again, Parmesan, something over it with rocket and olive oil.
I feel sour cream would work with something like that.
With chives.
Yes.
It would. But you know, I made my husband bully beef hash. Spat it out, never made it again. But I grew up with that as well. It's a quick meal. With chili, tomato, you fry it all up with your potato, but in little cubes. And then you just pull that hash through it at the end. It's delicious.
Yeah.
Lizette, I hope that answered your question. After that, funny, I'm hungry now.
Yeah, I love it.
Listen, we have another caller on the line. Andre from Kreersdorp. Andre, good morning. Andre?
Yes.
Hey, good morning. You live on Expresso. How are you doing, brother?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm fine.
Good, my friend. Listen, I've got our 2 foodies here. What's your question for them this morning? No, the line just dropped. I do have a gist of what Andre wanted to know. He said, what recipe can be used to make a homemade gravy for a meat pie?
Well, you know, when you make a stew, a gravy is a gravy, but it's not a gravy unless it has depth in it.
Right, so gravy is a gravy, but it needs depth.
Depth. For me, if I'm making homemade, onions, garlic, the mirepoix, onions, garlic, celery and carrots, and bones. You get a couple of bones whenever you go shopping, and you start it off like a stew. Well, I certainly do that. When I add the flour, I let it get brown because normally a gravy is brown. Depends. It's a blonde or it's a brunette or it's a dirty one. You know, a Cajun. A Cajun is a dirty. I'm the brunette. No, the brunette one.
Okay.
And then you just let that color develop. Let your onions go a little bit dark, and then develop it, and then cook it down. I then blitz it because I want the flavour.
Yes.
And then I just strain it.
Sounds delicious.
With
Well,
stock,
Andre.
eh? With
Yes,
stock.
some good stock. Yeah, but those bones also enrich it.
And it adds the depth.
Oh, I love
adds
it.
the depth.
I
Well, there we go. The
love
secret to a good gravy. Thank you very much, Andre, for your question. If you have any more questions, we're going to be back with Jenny and Ananel in just a little bit. 021 430 9881. Because it's a Wednesday, because it's Culinary Hotline Bling. Ting, ting, ting.
You know what? Life is all about setting challenges that makes life so much more interesting. And one individual who always sets a challenge to, of course, live her best life is Zoey Brown. And man, is she going to be inspiring us this morning.
Oh, absolutely. We're taking a look now at Zoey's very first triathlon. I mean, that is a big feat.
It is not easy.
Let's check it out.
Every day is a fresh and new opportunity to get stronger, eat better, live healthier, and become the best version of yourself. As I stand in Klein Willem at the 2018 Fresh Pack Fitness Festival, I'm about to take part in my first ever triathlon, and I cannot wait to share this journey with you. There's such a fun and relaxed vibe here at the Klein Willem campsite. I mean, there are kids and families swimming, people are camping. I think there's also a little bit of anticipation as everyone waits for their race to commence. But all in all, a fun, relaxed day out with the family.
Seeing kids running around and families and moms, dads doing their thing, it was really cool.
This is one of my favorite events. I love that the kids get one for themselves a little earlier on, and then the adults get to take part. I like doing races like this where you just get to chat, hang out, make new friends, and just meet new people.
I love challenging myself, and I think I'm ready to try something new. So even though I've been on a bicycle, I've ran on the road, I've done a swim, I've never done all three in one. So doing a triathlon is the perfect way to test myself. Okay, I'm at the start of the race. I'm in my tri-suit. The whistle just went. That means the gentlemen, they're on their way. They get a 5-minute head start. The ladies are up next. We're all in green caps, and as you can see, they're all swimming to that first buoy. We have a second buoy and a third buoy. That will make it a total of 800 meters, so wish me luck. At the start of the race, everything started to feel really real. The dam, it is huge, the water is cold, and there's a lot of people at the starting line. The swim was a lot harder than I thought. As I was swimming, I just had to remind myself to stay calm in the moment. At one stage, I got kicked in the head, but that's normal because there's so many people at the starting line. And I just had to, I took my time with the swim, and eventually I found my rhythm, and it was actually so beautiful out there. Getting out of the water was a little bit of a struggle. My legs felt like jelly, but when I made it to the bike station, I still felt motivated to keep going. So as you can see, I'm about to head on off to the cycle. We're starting off with a little bit of an incline, so let's hope the cycle goes a lot better than the swim. Cycling through Klein Willem, it was absolutely beautiful. At one stage you saw the canola fields, the people, the community, they were along the side of the roads cheering us on. And when I reached the first watering point, it was 5 kilometers in, and I was like, you know what? I can do this. I definitely can do this. The people were absolutely incredible. Those who were along the side of the road cheering us on, to those who were on the road cycling, even when they were passing you, they were cheering you on, saying, keep going, you've got this, there's a downhill coming up. I was really, really touched by how everyone supported one another. There we go. I thought the cycle would never end, but now that's done. All that's left to do is the 5K run.
Hi, missed the cutoff. Unfortunately, you can't start the run.
I missed the cutoff by how many minutes?
20.
I was a little shocked when they told me I didn't make the cutoff time. I thought there must be some mistake. Maybe they're pulling a prank on me. But I was a little disappointed because I made it so far. I finished the swim, I conquered the cycle. All that was left to do the running part, which I know I'm good at. So it sucks that I didn't finish, but I'm definitely doing it again next year, and now I'm mentally prepared for what to expect. Danilo, congratulations. I need to ask you, how was the triathlon for you?
It's always hard when you're in the race. Before the race, you're always very excited, and afterwards, there's just such an elation. I had so much fun today. I just love the community that were on the sidelines, cheering you on. They were playing music for you. There was high fives along the way. It was such a cool, community environment. The Clan William people are just stunning humans.
The Freshpack Fitness Festival, it is incredible. There really is something for everyone of all ages. There's activities for the adults, there's activities for the kids. The most important thing is that there is something for all fitness levels. This really is the place to come and test yourself, but most importantly, have some fun. I might not have finished my first triathlon, but there's nothing stopping me from trying again. It has been a fun and fantastic day at the Freshpack Fitness Festival.
Freshpack, the #1 rooibos tea.
Well done.
Not made for the water.
but you've been taking on these insane physical feats like every weekend for months now. Well done, man. Well done,
Can only go
Zeebles.
better from here.
You know what? I was going to eat my 9th muffin for the day, but I'm going to give it to you because you've earned it. Princess, please can I have another one of your gorgeous blueberry muffins?
And I'll have a cappuccino, please. Well, coming up, Culinary Hotline Bling 0214309881. Jenny and Anel are in the house for that hotline bling ting ting ting.
Ting ting ting, indeed. And then continuing on our trend of marvelous woman, we're going to introduce you to probably the first queen of South African talk. Felicia Mabuza-Suttle has a sit down with Expresso after the break. Yeah, here we go, Zeebs.
Enjoy a moment in between with McCafe. See you after the break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone. Culinary Hotline Bling. That can only mean one thing.
Welcome to it. You're back on your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso right here on SABC 3 for our second Culinary Hotline Bling. Ting, ting, ting. Get it in there. Get it in there. I just felt like breaking it up a little bit and you guys stick with the original one, but it's fine. Call us 0214309881 if you have a cooking conundrum that you want our foodies to help you out with. We have Anel Potgieter and the lovely Jenny Morris as well joining us in studio. So we have a caller on the line. First and foremost, ladies. Monique, Alipad van Caledon af. Monique, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, lovely to hear from you. Love Caledon.
Yes.
What's your question, Monique?
So I just wanted to find out from the lady. I like making pastries, cookies, tortillas, bless myself. But I can make it rolled out in a round shape. Is there any specific method?
So just repeat that once again, Monique, for us.
I can never roll out the dough in a round shape.
Okay, so the dough, she makes you like to make the dough, but how do you roll it out in a nice round shape?
I think start with a small bowl, a round bowl, because it's a small, it's a roti or something, so it's a small thing.
Yeah.
And then when you roll to the different sides and move it, turn it around and move.
Okay.
It's never going to be perfectly round, but that is that's what makes it beautiful,
homemade. Yes.
But just move it around, the dough itself, and roll verskillende kante toe.
And of course, I'm sure a little practice, it'll take some practice, but eventually you'll get it.
Yeah.
So just, but the trick is in the middle, start rolling it, turn it. All right, Monique, I hope that helped. Thank you very much for your call. So we had a question from Katlego from Gauteng. He asked this: how can you boil peeled potatoes easily?
Easily?
Easily.
He obviously wants it quick and fast.
It seems like it, yes.
So I would cut them small. And remember, anything that grows under the ground goes into cold water.
Right.
If it's above the ground, you can start it off in hot water.
I never knew that.
Yes, indeed.
Right.
And by putting it in cold water, it allows the gluten a chance. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a slimy, glassy potato if he puts it into boiling hot water. Some people do it.
Yeah.
But you need that gluten to develop. You need that sticky.
So start off with cold water and then bring up the temperature.
Yes. And it also cooks more evenly if it's cold, because it cooks from the outside instead of like the outside are cooked vinaigrette, and then the inside is still
gradually
raw.
heats up.
Yeah.
Then you get a nice potato.
Yeah,
Perfect potato, right. Another question here from Poloso Faleb, it was on Facebook. Which simple recipe should I use to bake a chocolate cake? Simple recipe, so I presume that people also don't have a lot of time. She wants to make sure that you get that chocolate cake in. It needs to be delicious, but don't rob her of a special time because she wants to entertain.
Well, we have stuff here. We have cocoa powder, we have sugar, and we have flour. How we got here?
It's a cup. Yeah, it's a cup of flour, cup of sugar, cup of milk.
Yes.
Quarter cup of oil, quarter cup of cacao.
Yes.
And you just mix first your oil with the milk. 2 eggs.
Yes, I like to put all the wet things together.
Yeah. All right. And then 1.5 teaspoon of baking powder.
To get it going.
And the vanilla.
Oh, yes.
That vanilla has been in my face the whole time.
That's
love
amazing,
it. Love
man.
it, love it,
okay,
love
so
it.
Anel, just quickly, the ingredients, a quick and easy chocolate cake.
So it's a cup of flour, cup of sugar, cup of milk.
Cup of flour, cup of sugar, cup of milk.
Quarter cup of cacao.
Yep.
Quarter cup of oil.
Okay.
1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. 2 eggs.
That sounds easy enough.
And about a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Yeah,
and the other word for cacao is cocoa powder.
Cocoa powder.
And then you pop that. It's a small batter. You can pop that in the oven for about 15 minutes. Just check if the skewer, if it's cooked.
Yes.
Or I also like to do it in the microwave, like in cups.
Cups,
just spray
yes, the mug.
The mug.
Yes.
For like a minute.
And I mean, that's
maximum.
very easy. So I mean, that's pretty much it. It comes together. How much do you need to kind of mix that?
Not overmix.
Not overmix it, obviously. You just want to make sure all the flour's incorporated and everything is combined nicely.
That's why it's always important to mix all the dry ingredients together first.
Understand. But if you have a machine mixer, then you can go that route as well.
Absolutely.
If you still want to call us, you can do so. Our lines are open, 021-430-9881. We got a few minutes left with our two lovely leading ladies. We had an anonymous caller last week, right? Saying this: how do you make custard without burning it? I think this is a fairly common question that a lot of people get, because...
Is it from a bakkie or is it from fresh eggs?
Right, so how do we go about that then?
You must always remember that a custard is milk and eggs.
Yes.
So milk tends to stick at the bottom of the...
Scorches very
quickly. Yeah. So make sure your heat is on medium heat, more slow to medium heat. And bring your milk to boil. You whisk your eggs and your sugar together, and then you pour the milk slowly in it, and then back into the pan or in your pot. And then you mustn't leave it. Don't go and watch your favourite soapy Bold and the Beautiful Noble Act. You have to stay with that pot, and a wooden spoon works very well.
Yes.
And to
keep stirring.
Keep stirring, and the heat will then spread as well.
Yeah, because it's thicker, it becomes thicker.
And also, eggs cook in minutes.
Yeah.
It's basically just killing anything in that egg that's going to make you ill.
Mo, let's not go there. It's custard we're talking about here.
No, but serious, it's raw egg.
Yes.
So it's basically just getting that egg cooked, and then your custard's ready.
ladies.
Yeah, it doesn't have to stand there for a long time till it's thickened.
Yes, yeah, as thick as you want it.
Yeah.
And then you let it cool down, it's going to thicken some more, and then you
eat it.
And then you eat
Yes.
it. And then you lay into it. Not burnt. Ladies, thank you very, very much for joining us this morning. Always a pleasure hanging out with you guys. That's your culinary hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting for your Wednesday morning.
On your Wednesday, indeed. Now, Wednesdays are also reserved for giving a shout out to amazing women who inspire us on the daily, like the one we know to be the queen of South African talk.
Absolutely, and now she's being celebrated for being a pioneer in the world of television, having some of the most difficult conversations in the newly elected democratic South African time back in the 90s. It's Felicia Mabuza-Suttle.
Post-1994, our country was in conversation about how we can unite as a rainbow nation. And it was during this transition period that Dr. Felicia Mabuza-Suttle cemented herself as one of the most popular talk show hosts in the country. I mean, I'm sure we can all remember that iconic theme song that invited us into our living rooms for an hour of introspective and spirited debate.
Although the show no longer broadcasts, Mum Felicia has continued to succeed both in Mzansi and the US as an award-winning entrepreneur, inspirational speaker, author and philanthropist. Her lifetime of work and achievements are being honoured at the 2018 Gauteng High Impact Leadership Summit.
Simpiwe, the summit is now in its second year. Last year's inaugural summit was in honour of Dr. Richard Maponya. I want to know, what is the mission behind this initiative?
The mission behind this initiative is to inspire the next generation of leaders, and it's to celebrate our living legends while they're still alive. I've seen around that people that wax lyrical and poetic when people have passed on, and as EmpowerWorks we have decided to create a platform.
How are the speakers that are going to be sharing their knowledge here today selected?
In terms of choosing the choice of speakers, it was between us and the person that we're honoring today, Dr. Felicia Mabuza. The people that are very close to her, but also people that are influential in the leadership space, both business, politics, and just general when it comes to leadership issues.
What was the reasoning behind selecting Dr. Felicia Mabuza-Suttle as this year's guest of honor?
We've chosen Dr. Felicia Mabuza-Suttle because she's relevant. She has created a platform for most of us as business people, as media people, and people in general in business space. And we made a choice that this year, in 2018, we want to honor her as a living legend in the media space.
Keeping in the spirit of dynamic female entrepreneurs, the summit is providing sessions with seasoned businesswomen tackling topics like best leadership, cultivating innovation, and building proudly African economic enterprises to bring to the global stage.
Tebe, why would you say that it's important for entrepreneurs to have such platforms like this to exist, for female entrepreneurs to learn from role models like Mum Felicia Mabuza?
Well, it's very important because it provides them with an example of what is possible for people like Felicia who grew up in townships to be able to rise to that height of success. But platforms like this provides a stage to showcase their talent, to showcase examples of those who've been able to overcome those circumstances.
Having engaged with one of the most prolific broadcasters and businesswomen to come out of South Africa, what would you say are some of the key lessons that we can take away from her?
Your attitude determines your altitude. She's always been a go-getter. She always speaks about it, and that's all she spoke about. She spoke about, it's possible for anybody, irrespective of where you come from. But I think the most important thing she talks about as well is that how important service is to country. And that's one of the sacrifices that she made when she came to South Africa, back to South Africa in 1992, to spend 10 years here, leaving a family behind in the United States.
Mum Felicia's rise to public prominence came with the talk show Top Level in 1992, which was later renamed to The Felicia Show with the slogan, "Let's get South Africa talking." She cemented her mark as the first black woman to host a talk show in South Africa. Ma, you lived a large part of your life overseas before returning to South Africa. You even obtained your tertiary education that side. How would you say that living overseas influenced your career as a broadcaster in South Africa?
Remember, before I left South Africa, I was working as a reporter for the World newspaper, which ended up being banned in 1976. I used to watch the news abroad and see myself one day do that. You cannot be what you cannot see. And then I decided my master's thesis is going to be on talk shows being an African concept, not an American concept.
Your iconic show, The Felicia Mabuza-Suttle Show, came at a very pivotal time in our country. How would you say that that show helped reshape and help us heal from our troubled past as South Africans?
We lived in apartheid where we were scared of each other, where we had fear, where we had no trust for each other. So communications is the only way that eliminates fear. And I think even now, that is even needed more.
Earlier on, you mentioned that self-affirmation is something that's so important to you. You practice it every single day. What words of wisdom do you have for young people?
You know, I came home now with publications I was reading when I said, this reminds me of what I want to share with young people in South Africa. And it said, your life has a purpose. Your story is important. Your dreams count. Your words matter. You were born to make an impact. In the words of Mahatma Gandhi, be the change you want to see in your family. After that, extend it to your society. After that, extend it to your community. After that, to your country. And who knows, to the world.
I have to say, when I was a really young man, I got to voice the Felicia Mabuza-Suttle show, which was insane. Such an education in where the country was. It was the new South Africa. But working with Felicia, she has done so much for entertainment in this country. So can we give her another round of applause? I think very rightfully being honoured.
That's right, and I love the words she was speaking. I want to rewatch that on YouTube a little bit later today.
Yeah.
But we're taking a quick break. When we get back, we're going to make a lactose-free garlic, lemon and sage chicken. That's coming up.
Oh, yummy. And then we're going to round it all off with one hardcore performance from a hardcore performer who just happens to be an awesome guy as well. Rian Smith is here before he embarks on his international tour.
Voted best courier in South Africa for over 10 years, at Globeflight, our approach is to simply keep our word. When the quality of our courier service was certified ISO 9001 compliant, it only confirmed what Globeflight customers already know, that from domestic same day to international air freight, Globeflight delivers smiles 24/7, 365.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Well, welcome back. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and it's this time of the morning where we take a look at all of the millions of people celebrating their birthdays. Of course, we won't say happy birthday to each and every million of people, if I can put it that way. But as we welcome today, the 3rd of October, we thought we'd wish some of our favorite celebs and, of course, our viewers a happy birthday.
Yes, actress Melissa Benoist celebrates her birthday today. She first gained recognition for her role as Marley Rose in the hit musical series Glee in 2015, where she was cast as Supergirl in the hit series of the same name.
That's right, and also celebrating her birthday today is the star of the hit film franchise 50 Shades of Grey, Dakota Johnson. Now, she began acting at the young age of only 9 years old with her role in the film Crazy in Alabama.
Also celebrating her birthday today is the star of the hit film franchise 50 Shades of Grey. That's her. We've just said she is you know what, I like her so much, I want to wish her twice. But also we'd like to wish a happy birthday to our lovely viewers, Virgil van der Ross, who's celebrating a birthday today, and Khanlib Simon also celebrates his birthday today.
Well, happy birthday to you, and if you would love for us to wish you on your birthday, perhaps give you a call, why don't you let us know? You can email us at birthdays@cordova.tv. Princess, thank you so much for that delicious slice of chocolate cake. And of course, do share your contact details with us in that email. Some information about the birthday person, perhaps it's your birthday, include a picture, and let us know well in advance so that we can make sure that your birthday or someone you love's birthday is extra special. That email address, once again, is birthdays@cordova.tv.
Clover No Lac, lactose-free milk that lets you enjoy dairy again. Made with love by Clover.
All right, back in the kitchen, back in action with the lovely Anel Potgieter. Now, if you are lactose intolerant, or maybe you just want to cut down on foods containing milk or milk derivatives, then we have something just for you this morning. It's a one-pot chicken wonder that you can put together in no time using some Clover No Lac, making it a lactose-free version as well. Anel's here to show us exactly how to go about that this morning with some delicious, what are these? Like pita breads. Yes. All right, and also, of course, you know, lactose intolerance is a big deal. I know a lot of people do suffer from it, but this is great using our Clover No Lac with our chicken recipe to make it a kind of a lactose-free version. If you
and the thing is, it's also got calcium, enriched with calcium and vitamin D.
Yes.
And it is absolutely perfect for the people with lactose intolerance.
Absolutely, and it's treated with the enzyme lactase, which helps the breakdown of lactose and making it easier to digest if you do suffer from lactose intolerance.
And it tastes nice and sweet. It's really lovely without added sugar.
Because of that process that they put it through. Yeah, exactly. Right, so let's put it together, Anel.
Yeah. So first you need a beautiful plump chicken.
Look at that.
Yeah, look, it just looks such a gorgeous chicken. So you gooi 'n bietjie sout op. You just season it quickly with some salt and some
so I
pepper.
love the fact you're using those coarse flakes.
Yes, they are gorgeous. So we're going to pop this into a pot. And remember, remember to get a pot that can go into the oven, because we're going to put this into an oven.
Right.
And we're just going to brown that on all the sides to give it that flavor, the beautiful caramelized chicken flavor that we want in there.
All right.
And then we're going to add some herbs. I've got some thyme here, but you can use sage as well. Yeah, so you put some herbs in.
All right.
Okay, and dit is ruik al klaar wonderlik. Dit ruik soos my mother's kitchen. It's always chicken.
But this is the type of home-cooked meal that we like, especially in the middle of the week. You want to do a one-pot wonder thing, so you spare yourself some time of running around.
I'm going to just turn this around quickly.
Okay, so basically just a quick brown.
Yeah, a quick brown.
And look at that.
Yes, look at that. So the herbs are in. We're going to add some lemon juice of 2 lemons.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have to wait essentially for that to brown now before you put
because you want that caramelization, that beautiful chicken flavor.
All right.
Then I'm going to add 8 garlic cloves.
Yes.
Lots of garlic.
So
if you like garlic,
systems.
this is for you if you like garlic. Some beautiful lemon zest as well. Of the lemons, the 2 lemons.
All right.
And then we can pour in some No Lac.
Right. So would you normally then make it with milk? But now we're obviously just replacing it.
Yes, you normally make this with milk. This is a very Italian recipe. The Italians cook a lot of meat with milk.
Yeah.
Even they use it for their bolognese.
Okay.
You first do the wine and then you add milk to soften the meat and give it that flavor, soft flavor.
So how does this work now? Do you need to be scared of this burning at the bottom of the pot? Do you need to stir it? Because we spoke about this now in the Culinary hotline.
Yes. What you're going to do with this now, you're going to pop this into the oven. Right. I just want to mix these through. So you pop this into the oven for about an hour and 20 minutes.
Just a little bit of milk. I mean, you don't fill it up. Or the Clover No Lac.
So you pop it into the oven and then you baste it like every 15 minutes.
From that juice you just pour over.
And it forms the most beautiful sauce. And it curdles. Remember the lemon juice curdles this. But it's the most beautiful, intense flavor with the herbs and the garlic and the soft chicken. And then what you do, you break it up beautifully and you serve it with pitas and some lactose-free yogurt that you can buy. It's absolutely a winner, a family winner.
And it looks like it as well. One pot wonder. If you want to get your hands on the recipe, some ingredients as well as a link to the recipe, the keyword is Clover. SMS that to 33728. You can also check it out on our website, expressoshow.com. But if you've missed any of the steps, here's a quick look back.
If you have lactose intolerance or you just want to cut down on foods that contain lactose, why not try this Clover No-Lac lactose-free garlic, lemon and sage chicken, the perfect one-pot dish for you and your family. For this recipe, you'll need 500 milliliters of Clover No-Lac lactose-free milk, 1 large whole chicken, salt and pepper, a small handful of fresh sage leaves, the zest and juice of 2 lemons, and 8 cloves of garlic. Fry the chicken until golden, turning the chicken to get an even brown color. Add sage leaves, lemon zest, lemon juice, garlic cloves, salt and pepper, and Clover No-Lac lactose-free milk. Cook in a preheated oven for 1 hour 20 minutes or until cooked through. Pull the meat off the bones, spoon the juices over, and enjoy. Perfect for a simple and cozy family dinner, this is a great lactose-free meal option. Go on, enjoy dairy again.
Made with love by Clover.
And there you have it. The keyword is Clover. SMS that to 33728. Arnold's just putting us a little pizza together. So slice of the chicken, the nice breast.
You see how beautifully it's cooked?
Stunningly cooked. And obviously because of the liquid, it steams through nice and making sure that it's soft.
And a beautiful piece of garlic in there.
Get in there.
And the garlic is so nice and delicious.
Did you make that for yourself now?
Yeah.
I'm sure. I could tell. The keyword is Clover. SMS that to 33728. I think it's a brilliant lactose-free variation to that one-pot chicken dinner. Yeah. Try it out. Clover to 33728.
Clover No-Lac, lactose-free milk that lets you enjoy dairy again. Made with love by Clover.
Lovely times in the
Smells
kitchen.
so
I
good.
particularly love a bolognese myself.
I love it.
Summer has definitely arrived, bringing with it long, hot summer days. And this is our cue to be out and about, enjoying every minute of our glorious weather. With our active summer lifestyle, entertaining and, of course, visiting friends. You got to have those around. We spend our weekends eating outdoors, and with the best will in the world, we're going to have a great deal of stains. And, of course, when it's talking about removing stains, your go-to products have to be, ta-da!
It's all in one beautifully handcrafted basket of cleanliness. Now, we love it. So we've got some great tips. MAC Auto Washing Powder, first off, contains a high active detergent combined with a range of enzymes to efficiently clean and safely remove stains. It's specifically formulated to give top performance in your front-loaded washing machines. Or if washing by hand or in a top-loader, then MAC Hand Wash Powder is definitely the way to go. Super strong formulation, has a high foam level to thoroughly clean and remove stains. And of course, to add that final touch, MAC Soft Fabric Conditioner combines a gentle softening agent to lubricate and condition fibers, making garments soft and comfortable to wear all over again. So you can make fresh stains together with encapsulated perfume pearls to leave garments with a clean, fresh smell, just like summer.
I love the smell. Now, when washing new, brightly colored clothes for the first time, you need to do a quick check to see whether the dye is fast. So all you do is simply dip a corner of the garment into clear water and leave it to soak. Now, if the color runs into the water, you need to wash this garment separately. A stain from a color run is actually a transfer of dye, and it's almost impossible to remove. Just forget about it. And if the affected garment is white cotton or linen, you can make up a solution of MAC thick bleach in water and soak the stained area for up to 30 minutes. Then you rinse it thoroughly, wash as normal with MAC Auto or hand wash powder.
You have been warned. So what happens when you're enjoying that amazing burger and spill some mayonnaise on your shirt? Well, you've got to apply a paste of MAC Auto or hand washing powder and apply to that stained area, nice and thick. Leave it for 30 minutes, then wash as normal at the highest temperature suitable for the fabric.
Exactly. Now, hot dogs have a way of squirting the mustard. Flush the garment under cold water to loosen the stain. Then make up a paste again of MAC Auto or hand wash powder and apply it to the stain. Wash as normal using the hottest water that's safe for the fabric.
And then this happens to me all the time, nail polish.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
come
true.
on. It may be impossible to remove, we know this. Use acetone, that's nail varnish remover, using the absorbent pad method, okay, which is patented. That's not really. Place the stain face down on a clean paper towel. Apply the polish remover to the back of the stain. Keep replacing the clean paper towels and repeat until the stain disappears.
Wow.
Then wash as normal with your MAC Auto or hand wash powder. That's brilliant.
You need to make a note of that one because you
write
do
it
that
down.
all the time.
I'm gonna write it down.
What about watermelon stains, huh?
Worth
Now,
it.
these are known as invisible stains. The drips dry up and the stain may disappear. And always wash garments immediately after the stain has occurred to prevent any long-term discoloration.
And then finally, again, this happens to me all the time, cosmetics. Pre-treat the stained area with a paste of MAC Auto or hand wash powder. Allow it to stand for about 30 minutes, then wash as normal in a strong solution of washing powder. It'll break down whatever oils are naturally there. We got you, man. We got
Usually
you.
lipstick stains for you, huh?
It's tough, it's tough.
Yeah, well, MAC makes your wash day a little easier, and we're making it easier for you to win a MAC hamper every week. To stand a chance of winning, SMS the keyword MAC to 33728. SMSs are charged at R1.50. No free SMSs apply, and T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.
And this week, the giveaway ends at midnight this Friday. I wonder if it'll get rid of a bolognese stain.
I don't know about bolognese either.
Rise and shine with MAC Auto Advanced Cleaning. MAC Shine On.
I think Rihanna and I can agree that we wouldn't mind Leanne cleaning our houses any time with that MAC stuff. She makes it sound so much fun. But Rihanna has taken us on a high all throughout this morning, and after the break, he's gently laying us down with Drifting Away, so stay tuned.
Oh yeah, we had a moment.
Oh yeah, and you can put some reverb on this one, because this one is just slow and chilled. So Mr. Soundman, you can add a little touch of verb on the voice and the guitar. If you cannot catch me, I'm gonna drift away. Cause I've been living lonely for most of my days. So you know, I'll sing my heart out and say, wanna know you, wanna know you, wanna know everything about you, wanna show you, wanna show you, wanna show you everything about me.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Well, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso, and time for us to connect with you on social media. Now, if you haven't heard the news just yet, Expresso is turning 8 tomorrow. It is our birthday, and of course, we love to wish you a happy birthday. But in return, we're actually asking you today, if you have a birthday wish, do send it on our Expresso Facebook page. But of course, you can always email us if it's your birthday at birthdays@cardova.tv so that we can make your birthday super duper special. And we just want to wish a beautiful picture that came through from Lebogang Maria saying, wishing you a happy birthday, Dimakatso. I love you a lot. And they included a beautiful picture. So happy birthday to you. But of course, you can always let us know if it's your birthday. That email address to remember is birthdays@cardova.tv.
So we've got time to squeeze in one last amazing performance. He's shown us the hardest side, the soulful side. He's had his heart in his hands. Now he's going to have our hearts beating out of our chests with a beautiful performance. It's time for us and for you, sadly, Rian Smith, to drift away. It's been awesome, dude. Take it away.
If you drift away. 'Cause I've been living lonely for most of my days. So you know, I'll sing my heart out and say, wanna know you, wanna know you, wanna know everything about you, wanna show you, wanna show you, wanna show you everything about me. I don't know why, I don't know why, I don't know, but I just need to try to make you realize that in my eyes you're enough. So when I get home to you, no matter how far, there's not a thing I would do to change who you are. So you know, I'll sing my heart out and say, I've been dreaming of flight, drifting far away, beyond the reach of my mind, though my heart wants to stay. So you know, I'll sing my heart out and say, wanna know you, wanna know you, wanna know everything about you, wanna show you, wanna show you, wanna show you everything about me. I don't know why, I don't know why, I know that I just need to try to make you realize that in my eyes you're enough. So when I get home to you, no matter how far, there's not a thing I would do to change who you are. So you know, I'll sing my heart out and say, wanna know you, wanna know you, wanna know everything about you, wanna show you, wanna show you, wanna show you everything about me. I don't know why, I don't know why, I know that I just need to try to make you realize that in my eyes you're enough.
I feel like we were transported away there. I actually forgot that we were doing the show. I was just kind of drifting away. But thank you so much to Rian Smith. Going solo, buddy. All the best of luck. He's about to embark on an international
he's
tour
off to the Cayman Islands to go and just do his thing there, man. And I was, you know, having recently been there myself, I think his sound and his vibe, it fits that whole kind of tropical Caribbean vibe. It's amazing, man. Well done and good luck.
Let us go, you're in the Cayman Islands.
Do I detect a hint of jealousy?
You just had to add that part in there, hey?
Why would I not? Why would I not, guys?
Let them eat cake.
Jealous. Let them eat cake. Princess, bring some cake in here. I'll tell you why. Because, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, the 4th of October, marks Expresso's 8-year birthday. What a phenomenal achievement, man. What a phenomenal achievement. And what a road it's been as well.
It's your first birthday with this show.
It's your first birthday, my boy.
I'm just thinking I was a teenager when the Expresso show started.
Is this a dig at me?
Yeah, we don't have to hear that part of it, so that was unnecessary, yeah.
So which of you guys were here from the very beginning, the very start?
You're the OG, you and Kat.
It's been 8 years. It's been 8 years with my Feel Good family and with you guys, which is my family. teenager joined us as well, somewhere along the lines as well. But what a memory. I mean, you know, if somebody asked you, what are some of your fondest memories of being on Expresso, it's impossible to say that.
It really is now, yeah.
There's so much happening every single morning, but I must say it's the laughter that we share on set. There's laughter with this ugly laughter. Ugly laughter.
We laugh so much at everything. We laugh at each other, but we also laugh at ourselves a lot. There's always something happening that goes wrong, or someone just like pushes you into a corner and you kind of have to swim out of it.
Like this morning with Zoey and her jelly legs after her triathlon.
Listen, you guys swim 800 meters and all of a sudden have to walk on land.
That missed the cutoff by what? 20 minutes.
You've crushed it recently. You did the Tough Mudder. You've been doing triathlons, girl. You're an athlete. Okay, you're an athlete.
Here, here.
I'm not everyone.
Professional athlete. So, of course, just lest we forget, DJ Roger Good and the Crazies are taking over tomorrow. Just be warned. I don't know what else we can say to warn you.
They've got planned. Let's put it like that. We don't know. We might be in for something.
All the 5FM listeners have just been warning me, like, oh, just
are
be
you
careful.
ready for it?
But I think
the one thing, the one thing is to definitely thank the people who make the show happen, everyone behind the scenes, because they made this 8 years happen. And thank you to the performer and everybody.
Love you guys.
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.